Hey there, all you cool, epic, and awesome fans, followers, and listeners. Welcome back to episode 43 of the Cool, Epic, Awesome podcast. My name is Matt, and I'm your co-host today.
And I'll be your other co-host, Joe.
And we have taken a decently long hiatus from the episodes. Joe, you've been away.
Yeah, I went to Japan and South Korea for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe you want to talk about that a little. How was it?
Yeah. It was I'm so happy I went. It was probably the best trip I've taken in my life. I actually did get to see a movie in Japan, which was kind of nice. And
how are the theaters there in general?
honestly, a lot. I mean, I only went to one theater, but I mean, they're like it was called Toho Theaters, which is, Matt, you know, Toho is obviously.
Yeah, it's Godzilla.
Yeah. So the theater was really nice, but like I can't really speak for all the theaters. But one thing that is cool to do there is they have posters like for all the movies that are coming out at that time for free. You just like you could take it home. Like I brought home like whatever. They had like Poor Things is coming out around now there. Like it's just being released. So they had like a bunch of Poor Things stuff. They even had like an exhibit I went to for Poor Things. But
Had
really cool.
A FNAF
Yeah,
poster.
FNAF poster. Yeah,
It's sick because it says like Five Nights at Freddy's in Japanese text on the top.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And they're front and back posters too, which I feel like is usually don't see.
Yeah, I mean sometimes like the cinemas do in the US like, give you a poster for seeing a certain movie. Like I know you got one actually for Dune.
Yeah, but I feel like it's only like if you go to that specific. Like this was just out for the public to take. Like I think when I first went, I didn't even see a movie the first day. I just took a bunch of the posters.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You were also in Korea too, right?
Yeah, I was in Korea as well. Which was kind of cool. I didn't see a movie there, but still a really cool city. I went to Seoul.
Yeah, that seems you had a great time there. But yeah, since you were away, we haven't been able to record in like a month.
Yeah, so a lot of things have happened.
Yeah, today's episode though, we're gonna talk about Dune Part 2, which I think when we did our most anticipated, it might have been like number
one. Yeah,
I think one was Joker, but it might have been like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
and then you recommended Army of Darkness, which we can get to later on. We're also going to talk about our top favorite villains.
Yeah.
So honestly, Frade Ralpha might have made it on there from Dune. But yeah, before we talk about Dune, I do want to quickly recap some of the movies that I've watched recently, the 2024 releases, just give like quick thoughts on them. Firstly, Madam Web. You were away for that, Joe.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, eventually I'm going to get to it, but
it's just a complete pile of shit in all aspects.
Yeah, sure.
Like it's actually worse than Morbius.
Really? Like
yeah.
I mean, but how? How can it really be? Like I actually don't understand how.
It's just like every single decision that was made. It's just like
it looks like kind of like coolly shot. Like some of the shots, like at least somewhat interesting.
I mean, I did notice like a couple like different times where the camera work did something interesting, and I was like, okay, but the editing is terrible.
Yeah.
The story makes no sense. Her powers don't make any sense.
Well, she doesn't really have like any. Did you see the theory online about like how the writer of this movie and the Craven movie like was a DC writer, and how this movie kind of mirrors the storyline of like Gotham City Sirens, like with Oracle.
Oh.
And like that, and
I didn't see that theory, but I guess that would make sense.
And then, because it's at I haven't seen the movie obviously, but spoiler alert: at the end of it, it's essentially set up that like she's kind of like a right, like you would probably know better than I would.
Yeah, she gets set up as kind of like she has to earn her blindness because she's blind in the comics. Do you care about spoilers or no?
No.
She gets blinded by getting hit by a firework in the face. And the villain dies by a Pepsi sign falling on him.
Oh, that's what that.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's like it's just complete nonsense. You're like,
yeah,
it's a waste of talent, waste of money, waste of people's time.
Yeah, because the case really isn't bad.
Yeah, it's not. But they're all pretty bad in the movie.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
But yeah, maybe we'll revisit that one day, but yeah, it's terrible. I also saw the Bob Marley biopic. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I saw
I
it was
think
getting bad reviews.
for like a biopics, it's kind of by the books, but I did really like the performance by I think his name is like Reggie John Page or some shit. Or no,
He,
Kingsley Benadier. Sorry.
he's in Secret Invasion, right?
Yeah. He was amazing. He really like embodied Bob Marley. I
Yeah,
don't know why I just said Reggie Jean Page. Who the hell is that?
I honestly have no idea.
Uh,
That's the guy from like that like Netflix show.
oh, he's the guy from. Remember the guy in
That
Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, he plays. Does he plays in that
Yeah, I
like
don't know why
Netflix
I got
show
them.
about like the British people? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
I don't know why I just got them. But anyways, yeah, I watched that. I also saw Lisa Frankenstein. I really love that. I think you would like
Yeah,
that one, Joe.
that I'm kind of sad I didn't get to see.
It's like a lot of homages to like classic horror, like Frankenstein movies, and there's
Yeah,
it's very well directed for a directorial debut. I don't know if you know, but the
yeah, it's
director
Ron
is
Williams' daughter, right?
yeah, and it's like her first go at it, so
Yeah,
she did pretty good. And it's also kind of like a dry humor kind of thing, which I'm a big fan of.
yeah.
So
How was because that's the girl who plays what's her name?
Cassie Lang,
Yeah, right.
yeah, Catherine Newton, she's really good. She was
Yeah,
good in it. I like her a lot.
'cause I feel like
She's all,
you don't really get to. She doesn't show off her acting chops in a role because like she doesn't. Her roles are pretty limited in the MCU, obviously.
yeah, yeah. Um, I also saw Book of Clarence finally. I actually really like that as well.
Really? I look kind of
Um,
stupid. I thought it was gonna be.
I think the performances really carried the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I
But
like
yeah,
Look, was it look
Lakeith,
Lakeisha
yeah,
Steinfield
Lakeith, yeah, Lakeith Stanfield,
Stanfield. I
close.
liked him in Haunted
And then
Mansion.
I saw that movie Out of Darkness. It's like the
Oh,
Stone Age
the
horror.
DC set.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
DC knows PC.
Yeah, no, I know what you meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that one as well. It's towards the top of my list for this year. And then
Yeah.
one other one was I watched that in the Dark, like the DreamWorks.
Yeah.
It's written by Charlie Kaufman, who wrote Eternal Sunshine, and I actually
Yeah. You
loved
were
it.
telling me
Like
about
it
you.
was
Yeah, you
surprising.
loved it.
Like I, it's like made for babies. I felt like, but I don't know. Like as it kept going, I was like, wait, this is actually very smartly written. Like the way that they told the story,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. If you have time, I would throw it on. It's on Netflix and it's like an easy watch.
Yeah.
You could not necessarily like have it on in the background, but you don't have to like pay attention too much to it.
Yeah. No,
But
I get it.
yeah, all right. That's just to catch everyone up on the releases this year. We talked about Argyle last episode, right?
Yeah, I didn't get to see it, but we did speak
Oh
about it.
yeah, I forgot. Yeah, but yeah, we could get into the big well, it's the first blockbuster of the year, Dune
Yeah.
Part Two. So
Which
yeah,
was
it's a
originally supposed to, it was supposed to come out in November, right?
yeah, either November or October. I think November. But yeah, because of the actors writer strike, it ended up
Yeah.
getting pushed. I think that was definitely a good choice
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
because having like the cast is insane, and like having them be able to market it was definitely a good move. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw a lot of like the red carpet stuff, but the cast is just
And the
phenomenal.
cast is like pretty young and like everyone's on social media and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I think maybe a couple episodes ago we talked about Dune Part One, which
Yeah.
ended with Paul Atreides or
Joining
finally
this part.
making and joining it. And this film picks up, I would say, a couple days of where the other one left off.
Yeah.
Just to start, like that opening scene was fantastic.
Yeah.
There was that one shot where like all of a sudden the
The like kind of stormtrooper looking dude started
yeah,
flying.
they started flying up. It was
Yeah, that was
just sick.
sick. Yeah,
I loved
as
how
soon as that shot like happened, I was like, I knew this. Oh, this is gonna be fucking really good.
yeah. I loved how brutal it was too. Like when they're falling off the
Yeah,
and like landing, they're falling. They're basically there's a scene where they're getting killed
they're getting
and
like pieced,
yeah, they're
and they're
falling.
falling off the side of the mountain.
Yeah, it's like a giant mountain, but Paul and his mom are like at the bottom, and it's like very realistic. It shows the bodies fall and like thud and slam right near them, and it like scares them and stuff. Just it just goes to show like the attention to detail and the execution of all of the filmmaking techniques, like things like that. It's just so well done. And you can go back to the day this podcast started, and I've been hyping up the director.
Yeah, actually.
He is the best director working today, in my opinion. And I think like he's gonna be responsible for one of the best sci-fi trilogies of all time when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's directed by his name is Denis Villeneuve. It looks like Dennis, but he's French, so I want to be respectful to how to pronounce it. Yeah, he also directed Arrival, which is my favorite movie of all time. But yeah, maybe if we could go a little more into the story. So the biggest plot point of the story is basically Paul struggling with this idea of him being the Messiah, or like the chosen one for the Fremen. And half of the Fremen think that it's Cap, and they think that he's like a false prophet, and then half of them really like believe
like devout to him,
that he's the Lisan al-Gaib or whatever. I really liked Javier Bardem as Stilgar in this.
Yeah.
It's funny because... Sorry, go ahead.
How in the beginning of the movie, like his obsession with him being the Messiah is like kind of played as like comedy, but like as at the end of the movie, like it's almost like kind of scary how much you see like his influence over the people. It's just by like, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know.
Yeah, because he starts as like kind of a friend and mentor, but the more he gets wrapped up into this like prophet stuff, he doesn't even see Paul as like a person anymore. He's kind of just like worshiping him as a god.
Isn't there a line where he's like I'm not, like he even tells him like I'm not the Messiah, and he's like I believe in you, like something along those lines.
Yeah, something like he doesn't believe that he's the Messiah, and he's like, it doesn't matter because I believe. And he's like telling him to do something. I don't know. Yeah. There's also a really funny scene where, and it's getting memed a lot, where Stilgar is like, he tells him that he's the Messiah, and then Paul's like, no, I'm not the Messiah, and it like does a cut, and then it's like Stilgar, and he's talking to some of the other Fremen, and he's like, just as it's written, the Messiah would always deny that he's the Messiah. Like it has to be him, and it's all getting memed online with his character. But yeah, I think you spoke to like a pretty important point, is that on the surface level, it seems like it's just comedic relief, but it is like
you kind of realize dark. The story goes on. Yeah, it's like how like crazy he doesn't even look at him as like in the beginning they're kind of friends, and then like now at this point he can even like talk to him like a regular person.
Yeah. And to talk about the villains of the movie, so. Obviously, there's the Harkonnens return. Like the Baron comes back from the first.
But I feel like the difference isn't. I feel like the Harkonnens are way more like fleshed out as characters in this, as opposed to in the first one.
Yeah, you see more of like how their society,
how they interact with each other.
Works. Yeah, the family dynamics with like the nephew played by Austin Butler, Freyd Rautha.
So who is Dave Bautista? Is Dave Bautista like? What's his relationship? Is he like the son of the Baron, or like he's just a random?
I don't know if it ever said. My assumption was he was just like someone who worked for the Baron, and he was like his next man up.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they were related, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah.
He was pretty good. I think Bautista might have been overacting just a little bit, but
he sells it though. I like.
I don't know.
I feel like the whole point of his character is like he's like that because deep down he's really like in all the battles he's like fucking terrified. So he overcompensates. Like that's kind of like I don't know. That's why I saw it.
Yeah, and let's talk about my favorite scene really quick. I love the black and white scene.
Yeah.
There's so many scenes I could have chose honestly, but my mind keeps going back to that one. First of all, it's just like awesome because it's just cool. Like this
it's just a really
scene
cool,
in black and white. Yeah, and it works well because of like how those like the character design of the Harkonnens. They're pale. and it's kind of like their eyes kind of are like piercing through
Yeah.
that white, the black and white, and it's awesome also because it's not just like a filter. That was the natural lighting from like that part of the planet that they were on, which
Yeah.
was explained in the movie, which I thought was really cool. It was like a clever
Did
way
you
for them
did you
to
know did you
use
like remember
black
I
and white.
spoke to you about that scene with like the fireworks? Like do you know what I was
Oh
talking
yeah, yeah.
about?
Now I do. Yeah, yeah. And when they're getting ready to fight, they're doing like their version of fireworks, and it looks like kind of paint getting sprayed at a wall almost in the sky. That looked
It's such
amazing.
a like it's only like maybe like a 2 second shot in the movie, but it's just like such a creative little you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I love the world building
Yeah.
that they do. They just like, especially in this movie, they flesh out this world so
Yeah.
much.
Well, you could tell they want to like they're gonna do the TV show about the his mom's people. Like they're gonna make the world a lot bigger. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm sure they're
and
gonna do other projects and stuff. You
yeah,
know.
the Bene Gesserit, that those people, whatever. That's
Yeah.
the part of that's like who his mom is a part of.
They
I
were the ones that
really,
like spread his quote unquote prophecy, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
I enjoyed her character a lot because
yeah. No, she was fantastic.
she basically was evil by the end. But I think some of it might have been like the blood of the sandworm kind of like.
Like, well, like it didn't the when they had the what is it the when the transfer from like the whole what is it the mother? I forgot
It's
the
like the
term.
Reverend Mother.
Yeah. Well, she says like they didn't know that she was pregnant, so like, and it's like alluded to that it's not supposed to be good. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming that
I think
like
what was bad about that is just like before they were saying, oh, like you're gonna feel all the pain and have all this baggage from all the Reverend Mothers, and then I'm assuming that like that unborn child is then gonna also experience that, which is why it's bad. That's just
yeah,
what I took from it. They didn't like fully explain why it was bad. Um, but yeah, after she gets that, she's kind of on a quest to like
but
make
like
sure that Paul like
Paul's
realizes that
prophecy,
he's
yeah,
the Messiah, yeah. And honestly, like she's a big reason why it happens because he doesn't really make that turn until after he drinks the blood of the sandworm.
yeah,
Because once he does that, he's able to see into the future, and he realizes the only way for him and his family to survive is if he like accepts this prophecy and decides to call himself the Messiah.
right, yeah,
Because it shows like these alternate futures. One of them where like Zendaya gets killed by some sort of like nuclear explosion. One of them where his mother is like walking over 1 million dead corpses.
yeah,
Um, but I also noticed something. There was like a parallel. I saw it on Twitter between there's a shot in the first Dune where like Paul's fighting
yeah,
in
with the
like
one with
armor.
Zendaya,
Yeah, and then like her character Chani, or I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it.
yeah,
She does exactly what he did in the first. And I think that was just kind of telling the audience like the visions are not set in stone. Like they can
yeah.
be changed. Which
Doesn't
I
he
think
even say? So there's a line about that too in the movie, I think.
uh
Like, because he sees all different.
he says
Um,
something about like alternate futures and
yeah,
but yeah, no, I thought that was very cool just to and I like how it shows something like that and like the director has enough respect for the audience that he doesn't have to like spell it
Ex-
out for you.
yeah. He doesn't have to
It's
explain it. Like
he just like he knows we're not stupid and we could figure that out. I feel like in
yeah,
other movies would be like, oh, this shows that this and that. Like I like
yeah.
how he's very subtle with how things are explained.
Well, it's very like he's really good at elevated sci-fi. Like this is like in terms of like he expects the audience. You have to have some level of intelligence to like understand what he's trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like this isn't Star Wars.
No, no.
It's more adult.
Well, I mean, more in line with Rogue One than like any of the other.
Yeah.
Rogue One is the only one that's kind of more of like there's like a higher than a surface level meaning to it.
hmm
But
Yeah, aside from like the story and the filmmaking, the action also was amazing.
yeah, the particularly the Austin Butler and Timothy Chalamet fight at the end.
Yeah. That scene was amazing.
Yeah,
Just the way it was framed, first of all, when they first like go up against each other and they're between that like opening where light's coming through, it just looks amazing. The
Yeah.
fight's really cool. It's well choreographed. I know you mentioned to me that it looks like realistic to how people actually fight.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's like a choreograph. I feel like a lot of fights in a lot of action movies can feel kind of, which I don't mind. Like if it's like a little ridiculous, like to the point where it looks like people dancing.
Yeah.
But this felt very like, and I mean I don't know if you agree, but I thought it felt like very real looking.
hmm No, I agree, and I think that's again something that Villeneuve is just very talented at. He's good at doing the personal stuff, but he's
Yeah,
also good at doing the grand stuff. Like that scene is just as good as the scene where the three sandworms ride into battle.
yeah,
That scene was awesome when like they just emerged from
yeah,
the dust. It's just like epic, grand, sci-fi space opera stuff that like nerds
yeah.
will love. You know, like me.
Nah, it's just sick. Yeah,
But it's just really cool.
yeah.
Um, but
There's a scene
yeah,
also where he's like walking and the sandworm's like jumping in the back.
who's walking?
Uh, Paul.
Mm, I don't know if I remember that.
I don't know why he's
Also,
walking though.
a big part of this movie also is like the reveal that Paul is actually a Harkonnen,
Yeah,
and his mother is the daughter of the Baron,
but his
right? So
mother didn't know that apparent until
until she drank the
yeah.
blood. Um, Speaking of the blood, just really quick, like back to when I was talking about the world building, I like how they included the little thing of like how they get the
How they
blood.
harvest it. Yeah,
It's just like a cool little detail to like show, how things work in this world, how they do
yeah.
certain stuff. I'm glad they had that scene in there.
I don't know if you saw, but I saw an article on Twitter saying that the way that they ride the sandworms in the movie, like it's not said in the book, so he had to make it up.
Yeah. Well, it's not
Which
said how they get
how
on
they
top of
actually
the
do it on
worms.
the yeah.
Um,
But
yeah,
everything I've seen online, like people that have read the book said like the movies, even though it's different, feels like it's in the same spirit like as the book. Like none of the changes are like really that bad. That like you know what I mean?
yeah. I've seen the same thing. I know people were saying like Shawnee's character was kind of different, but she's better in the movies
Better, yeah.
apparently.
I don't
Um,
mind. This is like the thing with source material. I mean, obviously I haven't read Dune, but like I don't mind if people change the story if it makes sense. Like if there's a reason why, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like this makes the story better. That's why they changed it.
hmm Yeah, we also have the inclusion of the Emperor and his daughter, Princess something, played by Florence Pugh. I forgot her name,
Yeah.
but I saw something on Twitter that when the director was talking to Florence Pugh, he's like, "All right, you basically have to like take my word for it. Like, if you join the cast for the small part, like I promise, if the sequel gets made, you're gonna have like a way larger role because she's not
Yeah.
really in this that much.
No.
She's in it like a fair amount. I think she's actually like the
She's in
first
the
scene.
opening. She is in the
Yeah.
opening scene. She
Um,
narrates a lot more, I feel like.
Yeah, I think she did a great job. I really liked her outfits.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the outfits in the movie, honestly.
Yeah, the set designs and like the costumes. Like even like the those like guard kind of dudes in the Coliseum. Like they were in maybe what, like couple scenes that were like
Yeah.
2-3 minutes, but like they had a whole design like, you know.
hmm Who is your favorite character?
Uh Honestly, it's really hard, honestly. Because like there's so many good performances. But I mean I like Austin Butler's character a lot. I feel like it's kind of cliche to say Paul, but obviously, you know, Paul's the best arc of him coming from like you think he's a hero in the beginning, and then at the end he's like essentially. I mean, he's still kind of I don't know.
Yeah, he's like a very morally gray character, but
Yeah,
he is leaning towards like the bad
he's
side
yeah.
for
He's definitely
sure.
not a good person. Yeah,
Yeah, when he tells his girl like, "I'll love you forever," and then he's
forever,
like,
and then just
"I'll."
like proceed.
He's gonna take the hand of the princess right in front of
Yeah,
her. Um, yeah, I was gonna say I liked Fred Routher the best too. Austin Butler's
yeah,
character. Just the performance was insane. I think if he had more screen time, he could have been up there with like one of the best villains, like in
Yeah,
sci-fi.
that's
He
the
just
only complaint I really had. It's not really a complaint. It's just like
yeah.
I do wish that he had more screen time.
Yeah, I understand why. I know like they already had to cut a bunch of scenes as it was.
Yeah, no.
Um, but it kind of sucks because like that's it. We're never gonna be able to see him again
Yeah.
on screen. Like
I
because
mean,
he
maybe
got
like you never know. Maybe they'll do like a prequel kind of series about him or some shit.
yeah.
There's always
He's
some
just
way.
I love like how insane he is.
Yeah, yeah,
He just like doesn't give a fuck. He murders people for no reason.
yeah,
But it's kind of funny how like um Leia Seydoux character just like is able to trick him basically by because he's horny.
yeah.
Like she's like he's very sexually immature or some shit. What did she say? Like or something
He
to
has
that
this. He
effect.
has like a sexual flaw. I forgot something along those lines.
Yeah, like all she had to do was basically offer her body, and he
Yeah,
folded instantly. Um, he felt like a very like immature character.
yeah. He
Like
felt like
he's
like almost like a 15-year-old mentally.
yeah, like a child just with
All the
infinite
privilege in the world. Yeah,
yeah
infinite money. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. I love him and the Baron scenes together.
yeah when they smooch.
Yeah, you know that was improvised. I had a feeling that was improvised for some reason.
Yeah, I that's funny. I don't know, but I love the
No, I
Baron
love it.
too.
I think that's hysterical. Like it's fitting. Like he's nuts. So it makes sense. Like he would do something like that.
Yeah, for some reason, like when I watch this, like that's kind of the scene where you think people would be like, "What the fuck," and like laugh, but like this entire theater, it was like sold out IMAX. Everyone was like dead silent, just so locked. I was so
Yeah,
locked into the movie. I think
yeah.
everyone else was too.
It didn't feel out of place. Like it just felt
No,
like
it didn't. I feel like something like that could be like, "What the fuck," you know?
yeah,
But it felt right.
yeah,
But just the Baron in general, I think Stellan Skarsgård does a great
yeah.
job,
He's
and
a fucking beast, dude. Yeah,
he's one of my favorite actors. He's in like he's in a bunch of movies. He's in the MCU. He's in the
yeah,
Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
yeah. He
Um,
plays what's his name? Forgot the guy's name.
yeah,
He's like
he's
the
like
dad.
he has like crustaceans all over his
Yeah.
face.
Did you see that thing that came out? Like he was the only one on that set that wanted to wear like the
Practical.
prosthetics. Yeah, everyone else wore like the CGI
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. He's a great. He's just I don't know.
He's committed.
He's a real filmmaker. He
Yeah,
does like MCU schlock, and he also does movies with like Lars von Trier and shit.
yeah.
Like
Apparently,
I
he's
don't know.
really good at Rogue One. I mean, not Rogue One. Andor,
And yeah, I've heard that as well. Um, but
which
yeah,
I do
he
want to
ends.
watch because that's like the closest we have to like an elevated sci-fi with
Mhm,
Star Wars.
yeah. And it seems like the audience is like receiving this very well. So maybe Disney will kind of be like, all right,
Yeah.
like if
I mean, do you think he would take a thing from Disney if they offered him just like a fucking blank? He basically
probably
have like an infinite budget. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
probably not, just because
Yeah.
he said previously he like doesn't want to go into anyone else's universe. And
Yeah.
Disney, they wouldn't be able to help themselves. They would have to throw in some references in there. Like I don't
Just
trust
sucks, dude.
Disney to
Yeah.
like they wouldn't allow him to do whatever he wants. Um,
It's just like
but
yeah, that's
yeah,
such like the killer of artwork, dude.
I know. I think the opening box office was like 170 mil or something opening weekend.
Worldwide, yeah. I
Yeah,
think it opened
worldwide.
at like 82 mil domestically.
Yeah, and it's like basically on par with Oppenheimer, which made 1 billion.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is gonna have strong legs just because of good word of mouth,
And there's
and it's
not
gonna
really
be a
shit coming out.
yeah. I mean, Godzilla vs
The ne-
Kong is probably the
but
next big one.
yeah, I was gonna say Kong is, but even then is like I don't think Kong honestly might have. There's not really anything coming out for a while. They both might have legs.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing is they're gonna be competing for IMAX screens probably. That's the only problem, and they're both Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but it's still a month from now.
Yeah, March 28th maybe.
Yeah, it's the end of the month. So I mean, by then I'm sure like they're gonna have to give up some of the share.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think it's gonna end up doing well, and if it does, then Dune Messiah is coming.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I'm assuming they're gonna do it. That would be idiots. This is like the probably the most popular it's ever been.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know about you, but for some reason, like the cinema experience for me was just like completely unique, and I've never like seen a movie and had this experience in a theater. I just was like completely locked in.
Yeah,
I walked out and I like couldn't even. I had like no
I was like
words.
thought. Yeah, I was like
It was,
speechless.
yeah, it's literally like it made me speechless. Like
Yeah,
literally, it's just such an epic story, and I
it just
also
hits. It hits both notes, like that sci-fi kind of nerd, but also like this elevated cinema. It's just such
yeah,
a. You could tell like it's just such a good movie.
I really love like the religious stuff too. I loved all that aspect of it and like the mysticism behind everything
Yeah,
and like the people praying and all this stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I can't even. It's hard to like compose myself to like talk about the movie. It was
yeah.
just like unlike anything I've ever seen. I saw someone on Twitter say this is what people felt like when they watched
So
Star
yeah,
Wars.
that's like the closest thing I could think of.
Like when Star Wars came out in 1977, like and people watched that in the theater. That's how
Yeah.
this feels for
Because
us.
like honestly, I was a pretty casual. Like I liked the first one. I didn't love it, but like this one, I was like, holy shit! Like I was fucking locked in from this.
Yeah, I love the first one, but I could watching that. You're like, okay, this has potential. And
Yeah,
this second film basically took everything that the first did and just elevated it to 11.
yeah.
And
Like
thinking on it, I mean, what
yeah,
is
it improves on everything. Like the biggest complaint by the first one is there's no action, and there's like a shit ton of action in this.
yeah, and the first one also like the ending kind of sucks. It like is
Yeah, because like
it's a
it's
cliffhanger, but this is satisfying in its own story,
its
but it
own
also
right, but
sets
it
up.
also sets up like like if they didn't make Dune like Messiah, like there would be an end to his story essentially. Like it could still go on, but like it would still have at least like a closing kind of arc, you know?
Yeah, the end is he accepts his role
He
as the
said,
Messiah. He
yeah,
kills his enemy, and like
he,
yeah, that's
yeah,
it. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think if I could talk about any flaws of the movie. I don't. One thing that came up was how come this is very small? How come he never uses the voice? They kind of like abandoned it.
yeah. He didn't. He only used it like in that one scene at the end.
I feel like in the first movie, it's like a good chunk of the movie is like the mother trying to teach him how to harness it, how to use it. And like a big scene is him using it for the first time on that what was it, the blind guy or something? Or no.
It wasn't
Or
like
when he used it in
it
the
wasn't like the
helicopter.
helicopter thing. Yeah,
That's like a big moment where he finally is able to use it. And they just kind of like abandon it in this.
yeah.
I don't really understand why,
I
but
feel like
like
maybe they just felt like it would have been too much going on with the plot, like with the whole him be the
yeah,
Messiah. They just kind of I don't know.
because there is like a lot of shit going on.
Yeah,
And it's like introducing all these new characters and stuff. Um, but oh yeah, also we forgot to mention the plot point, like with his sister,
oh
the
yeah.
unborn sister. She's played by Anya Taylor-Joy, which is kind of
Well,
funny.
she's not unborn. Oh yeah,
In the movie, she's like a fetus. It shows the
yeah,
fetus a bunch of times, but
but she's not like dead.
yeah, I guess I meant like not born yet,
Yeah,
but um, yeah, and she's able to communicate with the mother,
after
and then
she
after they drink the worm blood.
the water of life.
And when Paul eventually like drinks it and has his vision of the future, it's his sister who tells him that they're actually Harkonnens. Um, I don't. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like the whole plot point with the Reverend Mother, just like her story, I really enjoyed.
yeah. I like how
She
they
was,
both found out from the sister. I mean, from
yeah,
the like
it's definitely like an interesting plot point.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say or if we should get to the ratings. Um, let's see. Yeah, I think that's really it for me.
Yeah,
I don't
there's
know if you
not.
said, did you say your favorite scene or no?
I mean, I love the introduction of what's his name,
Freed Routha.
Fred Ratha. But I mean, there's so many. There's like 5 or 6 scenes I can think of, like the
Oh
sandworms,
yeah, I
like
think you said the
attacking in
fight.
battle, the fight, like him that
Yeah.
when he launches the attack, that shot of him like with the explosion going off,
hmm Yeah, it looked
him like
awesome.
when he leads the charge, like there's so many good,
Yeah, but all right, yeah. For me, I mean, this is the 5 star pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree.
It was anytime like I'm in a movie theater and I just have like a really great like cinema experience. I'm completely locked in, and the IMAX is going crazy. Like
Yeah,
that's why I love movies. Just to be like sucked into that
yeah,
world.
no, being that like in the moment.
So yeah, I mean, there's really no flaws in this movie for me.
Yeah,
I think that when it's said and done, like when people look back, it'll be like one of the best sci-fi
I
films
agree.
ever. And I understand why people are comparing it to like Empire Strikes Back, The
Yeah,
Dark Knight, because it's that good. Like it actually is that
no,
good
yeah,
as a
it really
sequel.
is.
So,
And I wasn't even a big Dune fan before. Like, I liked it, I enjoyed it, but this like kind of locked me in.
mhm. So what? You gave it a 5 star
Yeah, I
also?
give it 5 stars as well.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm really glad that it actually was that good, because
Yeah,
I would have been disappointed if it sucked. But all right, so yeah, I guess we'll get to some movie news, but
yeah,
before we do, I just want to say, like, go see this in a theater
yeah,
in IMAX before it leaves.
yeah. I'm probably gonna try. I'm gonna see it again, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see it again as well. But all right, so yeah, since we've been gone for a month, we have like a shit ton of movie news.
Yeah,
Um, First thing that we could quickly go over is there is a new Evil Dead spinoff in the works. Sam Raimi's company is producing it, and it's going to be directed by Sebastian Vanecek, who I'm not familiar with. I don't think he
yeah.
has like
Here's
any.
one like horror movie. That's like an original horror movie. I'll
Let's
actually look
see,
it up.
Sebastian. Let's see. I don't know. I can't find him on Letterboxd. I don't know.
Paste.
Whatever. But didn't it say like it's gonna have a French twist to it?
But yeah, I think it's probably gonna take place in France.
That'll be cool. I wonder
Oh, I
if
think it's called The movie's called Vermin, or no,
Furman.
Infested.
All right. Well, I mean, Raimi must have seen something in him, because I feel like Raimi probably chooses
And he
to
had
direct.
didn't like he has like complete creative control. This guy, I saw something that like he.
Um, I don't know. I don't know if I saw that. But yeah, we're big fans of guys. So
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be good.
yeah.
I trust like their. I mean, they haven't really made a bad one, honestly. If you
Uh,
think about it, like,
yeah. I mean, yeah. We'll talk about Army of Darkness later, but yeah.
well, evil. I mean, yeah, I mean, technically,
We could talk next about. So there's a bunch of shit going on behind the scenes of the new Jurassic World movie that was
yeah,
announced. I think we talked about it on our last episode, the fact that it was announced. So what happened was there were reports that David Leitch was like circling to direct, and he's the director of Deadpool 2, I think, and Bullet Train. So good action movies. And I think he would have done well. But then apparently reports came out that they basically like they have a story and like they're looking to start shooting really soon, so they kind of just want a director who's willing to just come on and like just shoot the
yeah.
film and not really like have creative control. So he dropped out, and then they ended up picking up what's his name? Hold on,
Uh,
Gareth Edwards,
yeah,
who directed Rogue One, um,
the creator
the creator,
and Godzilla,
and yeah, Godzilla, the first one.
the original. I mean, not the original,
Yeah, not the
obviously.
original, obviously, but yeah, um, yeah. I mean, I Gareth Edwards Jurassic World movie sounds sick,
Yeah,
but
at least we
again,
know the scene, like the dinosaur kind of action sequences are going to be really good, at the least.
yeah, but is that enough? For me, I feel like that's enough. But for most
Yeah,
people, maybe not.
no. Like I'm sure. Like I mean, I don't know. The original writer apparently is on board from the
Yeah,
original
I mean, it's
Jurassic
just
Park.
like
I
such a.
saw like apparently I don't know if this is true, but from like the kind of movie scoop people online, like apparently the script like isn't bad. It's supposed to be like a good script.
All right. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's just like I feel like Universal in general is doing a pretty good job. Especially recently, they had
Mm,
Oppenheimer, they had Mario. But like, this is just such a cynical way to approach a movie. Like, they're just like, oh, we need a director just to like shoot this. We don't like we don't.
there's
There's no
no.
creative
It's.
control
I
in
don't
it.
think it's for the. It's obviously not for the sake of the story. It's more just like they just want to get in for that like
They want to
summer
get it in,
2025
yeah, so
release
they
window,
can
which
make their
I don't
money.
think they're gonna make because if they have to start filming in, they said they're gonna start filming in July. There's no way a year turnaround on a huge CGI heavy movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, it's also titled Jurassic City.
I saw that too, but that's only like the
Yeah, it's like rumors. I definitely think it's gonna be like Jurassic something, but not park or world. I think it'll be something different. I
no.
don't know about city, but why? What do you think?
I have no idea.
So what do you mean no? You don't think it's gonna be Jurassic something?
No, I do. What I said no. I don't know why I said no. Sorry. I agree with you. I think it's gonna be something Jurassic.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I guess I'm sure we'll hear more about that because it's got to be start. It's got to start like filming in like a couple months. So
Yeah. I
yeah.
don't know. I mean, because think about it. Superman's filming now. They started filming like recently, which we'll get to actually later. But
Yeah, and
and
that's
that's
coming out
coming
next
out.
July.
Yeah, and that probably has less CGI effects than Jurassic World, a Jurassic Park movie.
Probably similar, but yeah, it's probably easier effects to do because you don't have to like.
Yeah,
But
like
unless the only thing is if they could have done a lot of the VFX work already and just are gonna like film actors to like fill in the
but
blanks.
like I feel like part of the draw of getting Edwards is like he's good at those CGI scenes. So like, wouldn't
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know. But we'll see.
Yeah,
Something else that we got was they're currently filming Daredevil Born Again in New York. So there's a bunch of set photos, and we got to look at Daredevil's new costume. And
yeah.
it's like a
I actually
bright
like.
red. I love it.
Yeah, I really like it. Yeah.
The only
Did you
problem
see the
is like,
Bullseye one too?
yeah, that one's alright.
Yeah, it
The
sucked.
only problem with the Daredevil one, why don't they just like put his logo on it? I really don't get that.
Yeah, they're being pussies. They got to put the double D's on there.
Yeah, I don't like why not. I just like don't understand.
I don't know. Maybe he'll
Like it,
like earn it, quote unquote. You know how they do that shit. Like, and maybe he'll get it. They have a history of like getting him, the hero, getting like his suit at the end of like, you
yeah.
know.
I saw that they're continuing filming tomorrow in the city.
I did see that too. Yeah.
I'm actually in the city tomorrow working, so maybe
Maybe
they'll
it's just,
happen
you
to
never
be
know. Yeah.
by my job site. Maybe they'll need
Yeah.
like a someone in a safety vest
Extra.
in the
Yeah.
background of a shot. Um, but yeah. Anyways, I really like the costume, and I mean, when is this supposed to come out? I guess
Next
2025.
year. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we'll talk more about that when we hear more. So also, the Super Bowl happened, right?
Yeah.
So we got, or no, wait, did we talk about the Super Bowl trailers?
I don't
No, we
think
didn't.
so.
Sorry, I'm
No.
stupid. Uh, we got the first trailer for A Quiet Place Day One. We got a bunch of trailers, but this was the first one that released that day.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Quiet Place franchise, and I think that the trailer looks pretty promising. Lupita
Yeah.
Nyong'o obviously is a great actress, and we're gonna get to see more of Joseph Quinn, who I really only know from Stranger Things as Eddie.
Hmm.
I haven't like seen him in anything else.
That was like his first major, really, kind of, you
Yes,
know,
as far as I know. And it seems like he's getting cast in a lot of shit. He's in this. He's in
in
Gladiator.
Gladiator, and he just got cast in the Fantastic Four. We'll get to
Yeah,
that later.
yeah. But and I'm not sure what the premise. I mean, the premise of the movie is just like it's gonna be when the aliens first got there. But like, what story within that? I'm not sure. Like, who are these characters? I don't really know.
Yeah.
She has a cat,
Yeah,
which
that kind of
scares.
worries me. Yeah, that scares the
Yeah,
fuck out of me.
because she has it at the beginning of the trailer and then
And it's
doesn't at
not
the end.
there. I mean,
They would kill a cat, bro. They killed
I
a
know
kid
they
in the
would.
first one.
I know.
So,
I'm hoping cats are quiet, so hopefully it'll survive.
yeah.
But
Um, we also randomly got a announcement that Moana 2 is releasing at the end of this year.
yeah, which was
Um,
originally a Disney Plus special, which fucking terrifies me.
yeah, it was like a Disney Plus show that then turned into a movie. This is giving me very much vibes of like when they would make those shitty like animated sequels that would just
Yeah,
go straight to DVD, like The Lion King 2,
yeah.
like
I
shit like
don't.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too
I mean,
feeling too
to be
hot about
fair,
this.
I've never seen Moana.
Yeah, I haven't
I'm
seen
going
Moana either. So
I'm
I mean,
going to at
eventually I'm gonna
some
watch
point.
it. Yeah,
Yeah. I'll watch it before this one. But
yeah,
yeah, with that being announced, I pulled up like a schedule for like the upcoming Disney animation sequels that are coming out.
yeah.
So Inside Out 2 is in June of this year. Then Moana 2 is November. Next year is Zootopia 2. And then 2026 is Toy Story 5 and Frozen 3.
Toy Story
So
5 shouldn't exist. Frozen
or to-
3, like, I get.
Toy
I'd
Story
like.
4 shouldn't exist. I don't know what they're gonna do for 5.
I have no idea, dude. I didn't even see 4. I've never seen 4.
It's honestly like all things considered, it's not bad. It's like
Yeah,
honestly pretty good, but like it was just unnecessary. That
yeah,
the way they ended the trilogy was like perfect.
yeah. I don't know.
Um,
Yeah. Inside Out 2 looks promising. Doesn't look like,
yeah, it looks all right. I mean, that
looks
one
more.
makes
It looks a
sense,
little bit more of like a return to form of.
but that makes sense to have a sequel because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what is its name? Riley? Is that the name of the
It's
girl?
like, yeah, like
It's
as you get
her when
old.
she grows up. You get new
Yeah.
feelings, you know.
Yeah. You know
Uh,
what's another one they should do that they I don't understand is they could do like another Incredibles. That like there's more places for the story to go, like as the family gets older, you know?
yeah, they could, yeah. Although I don't think Incredibles 2 was that like a big hit. I don't know.
I thought I liked it. I remember like liking it when I first watched it.
Yeah, but speaking of sequels, this is kind of random from that, but we finally got the announcement that Prey 2 is coming.
Yeah,
Which for those of you who don't know, that was a Predator prequel, which
which
took
was kind of a
place.
surprise hit, honestly.
What was it like early America or something?
Yeah, it was like 1600s in America. And it's like a
Um,
Native American woman, but there's like
it was
I don't know if it's
awesome.
supposed
I
to be
loved it.
French or like Spanish. It's some type of settlers there, but yeah, it was sick. It was really good.
So they're making a sequel to that, and then the director of Prey 1 is also doing a new Predator movie called Badlands.
It was
And it's
set in the
gonna.
future, right?
It doesn't. I don't know. I'm not sure
That's
if
the
they said,
rumor. I think it said.
but it's gonna begin filming later this year. So
Yeah,
I'm really excited because I really loved Prey. I think that was like
yeah,
one of my favorite movies of that year.
yeah.
And it was straight to Hulu, so I'm sure they
Which is
learned their
crazy. Yeah,
lesson and they're gonna put it in theaters this time around.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
wonder what the story of Prey 2 is going to be. I guess like they're going to see that one of the predators died and just another one pulls up or something like
yeah,
that.
I think there was a tease at the end. I think maybe there was like a spaceship that it showed at the end. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
they'll figure it out. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
that.
yeah, they'll
Yeah.
figure something out. Um,
But I'm honestly more interested in the other one, like what they're gonna, because I feel like they kind of experimented with the idea of like changing the setting for a Predator movie, which I think like for franchise that's like a good idea. Is to like kind of when it's kind of stagnant, is to kind of take your core, whatever makes the franchise good, and like drop in a different setting. And I feel like it makes the story a little more interesting. So I feel
yeah,
like now that they saw that works, like what are they gonna do? Like if I know I saw the future was a rumor. Excuse me. But honestly, I'd rather them do it like they drop it in like a different, like make it in like I don't know, like ancient Egypt or something like that. Like that would be cool. Like like a random, or like
yeah,
they could do like the samurai era in Japan or something.
hmm for sure. Um, yeah, so we'll talk more about that when we find out more. But if it's
Yeah,
filming at the end of this year, then it'll be a decent turnaround. It'll probably come out next year
yeah, 2025,
because
probably
I
late
don't think it's going to
2025.
be like high budget or anything.
It's definitely higher budget than the first one. but I don't think maybe like 30 million, maybe 40 million, something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, another random thing we could talk about is that Maggie Gyllenhaal's Bride of Frankenstein that she's doing for Netflix, Christian Bale just got cast as Frankenstein. The only thing is the wording of this tweet that is from, it just says Christian Bale will star as Frankenstein. I'm assuming they mean the monster, but they
I don't
could
know
also
actually.
mean,
No, because it could be. Well, wouldn't it be Doctor Frankenstein?
well, the monster is called Frankenstein's monster. Like
Yeah, but
Frankenstein himself is the
but I feel like
doctor.
wouldn't they say Doctor Frank because his name is Doctor Frankenstein?
I'm looking it up right now. It says, hold on.
I mean, either way, I'm sure it'll be like
It's also starring Jesse Buckley and Penelope Cruz, as well as Annette Bening. Yeah, it's
when is it
exciting though.
filming?
I'm a big fan of Christian Bale. Obviously, I feel like a lot of people are, but I hope he's playing the monster. I feel like that would be cool. I could definitely like see him doing that.
Has she ever done like a horror? Well, I don't know what the vibe of the movie is gonna be like.
No, she's only directed one other movie before. Like I think it's The Lost Daughter. It was pretty good. I think it might have actually got some Oscar noms.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, and then another crazy rumor that we got, which is very, very interesting to me, and I feel like it's too weird and
Weird.
random for it to be made up. And it's
Yeah.
that apparently Darren Aronofsky is in talks to direct a Plastic Man movie for James Gunn's DC.
Which
That is just
I
like
mean,
such a weird combo.
I love Darren. I think he's like obviously one of the best directors working right now. But I just don't see how this would work. Like this is so offbeat from what something he would do.
Yeah, like I can't. I'm trying to think of like his most tame movie, and it's like not even anything close to what
Yeah.
Plastic Man would be. Um, but yeah, I feel like that's also too specific. I feel like
Maybe
if
he
they were,
just like really likes the character.
I feel
And
maybe. I mean, I feel like if they were making up like a rumor about Darren Aronofsky, they'd make him do like, oh, he's directing like this darker movie or something.
yeah, if they told
But
me he was directing like fucking Eternals too, I'd believe that over like
you know what's funny though? He was actually going to make a Batman movie at one point,
really.
but for whatever reason, yeah, it got canceled or he left the project or
Is there
something.
like
But he,
anything like about?
if you do some research, you could find. I think there's things about the plot, but there's not
I'm
much. I
interested,
don't think it went
I'm interested
past.
what yeah like what the villain would be and stuff. That's kind of cool.
So maybe he has that. I mean, that proves that he would have done a DC movie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I hope that that's true, just because I would be
Yeah,
interested to see.
just to see him attached to a comic book movie would be really interesting.
Yeah. And then moving on, we got a couple more trailers from the Super Bowl. The big one, obviously, is Deadpool
Deadpool
3,
3, which
which the trailer itself, I
it's
think it
fun.
actually played before Dune, I think.
Mine didn't play
Um,
before Dune actually.
no, no, I'm pretty sure mine did. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's kind of just, well, it confirms that the TVA plays a part in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like fully set in the MCU. Like it shows Captain America in the trailer and the Hulk. And
Well, it's not the TVA technically doesn't really like it could be set in more of the Fox universes.
yeah, no, I'm saying, but like they're not shying away from
Oh
the
no, no,
MCU
no.
stuff. Like they
Yeah,
literally show MCU characters.
yeah. I like
Um,
this. There's actually a scene of him when like and Captain America's on the thing and like he's like saluting him. Like I thought that was funny.
yeah, I think that the TVA being in this movie is it's like the perfect way to bring him to the MCU.
Yeah.
It's like such a great idea for a story to bring him
And it
in.
kind of this is like the TVA's first time in like the theatrical setting because they've only really been on Loki.
Yeah,
And I feel like they're gonna start popping up a lot more. So this
yeah,
is like a
especially like with the multiverse stuff.
yeah.
The one thing that I didn't get, especially considering we got the reveal of the title, which is Deadpool and Wolverine, the trailer doesn't even show Wolverine. It shows him for like a split second at the end.
Yeah.
Like we've all seen the set photos. Ryan Reynolds posted a picture himself, Why would you not just like include him in it?
Well, maybe
Uh,
those like some of those shots aren't ready yet.
Maybe, I don't know. But overall, though, the trailer doesn't really reveal much. I
Yeah,
guess the biggest thing is like Pyro from the older X-Men films appears.
which I'm actually watching now. He's in X2,
Yeah,
which
but
is
it's
kind of funny. He's not
like
really like,
the thing is though, if Pyro is there, you already know like they're getting everyone because like he's the most
mhm.
random X-Men.
Yeah. If they
Um,
revealed like that, like you could like I can imagine what's gonna be in. I've seen like everybody like mad people are gonna be back in it.
mm,
Like Halle Berry Storm, uh what's his name? Cyclops, the hell's his name? He's in Sonic.
uh, James Marsden.
Yeah. He actually like he has a really good like he looks like the character.
Fiona's like growling under my door right now. I'm not letting her in. But sorry. Yeah, he does. I know there's also some. This is random, but there's rumors that Henry Cavill got cast as a role in the MCU, and people are saying
Yeah.
it's Cyclops.
Sentry. I saw Sentry too.
I saw Cyclops. I think Sentry is they already cast like Lewis Pullman or something, the guy from Top Gun.
Oh, not Sentry. I'm sorry. What am I thinking of? The Beyonder. I don't know why I said
Oh,
Sentry. Because honestly, there's a picture like the if you look up the Beyonder, like I'm try to pull up the picture. Like there's like a costume of him like all white, and he kind of has like curly hair. He and honestly, he does look like the character a little bit.
maybe. I mean, there's always rumors that he's getting cast in the MCU, so we'll
Yeah,
see. There was
I
also a
just feel
rumor
like
about
he's
this a
not
while
that
ago.
talented of an actor to be like handling that big of a role.
Yeah, bro, he played Superman. I mean, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think
I
it.
don't think he's a great actor either, but like if he played Superman, I don't see anything
Yeah,
he
but
wouldn't
look,
be able
is
to
was
play.
his Superman really that good?
No, but
Yeah,
he has a ton of fans, so that would also bring the Snyder cultists over to the MCU. That might be a good
does
play.
cause like a Snyder Cult civil war.
Yeah. Um,
But yeah, he
but
kind of
yeah,
does look like. If you look up the character, he does kind of look like him.
yeah. But we also got a poster for Deadpool where it's like the friendship necklaces of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
I think that's a perfect title though, Deadpool and Wolverine.
yeah, because they want like people. To, I feel like
And
for
it
people to
also
come and see it.
it shows that like Wolverine's gonna be a big part in it
Yeah,
because like he's in the title, so it won't just be a cameo. Um, but yeah, aside from that, we also got a trailer for Wicked Part One with Ariana Grande playing. Forgot the name of the witch, the Good Witch, and
Isn't it
then
like Gelda the Good or some shit like that?
let me look it up so that the Wicked fans aren't tied to
Or
us.
Glenda the Good or something.
Glenda, I think that's it.
Excuse me. Right? Isn't it
Uh,
Glenda the Good?
Glinda.
Oh,
And
Glinda the
then
Good.
Cynthia Erivo is playing Alphaba. Jeff Goldblum as the
Yeah,
wizard and Michelle Yeoh as Madame Marble. I definitely pronounced that wrong. Um, but
Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard is actually kind of really good casting. I didn't know
I
that.
enjoyed the trailer a lot. I think it looks cool. It looks interesting. I saw
Yeah, I don't know
the
anything
show.
about Wicked, so
Did you
like
never
I've never
saw the
seen the
Broadway
show. No,
show?
I'm probably gonna see the show before I watch the movie.
It's a prequel to
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 the
the
Wizard of
Wizard of
Oz.
Oz.
Yeah,
I actually rewatched the Wizard of Oz the other day.
did
I
you?
actually loved it.
Yeah,
It was amazing. It has such like a charm to it with like all these goofy characters and
yeah.
just like it's so old, like how they did the effects. It's just I don't know. I loved it.
The
But
painted
it
backgrounds and stuff.
yeah, it's basically like it's humanizing the Wicked Witch. It's like her backstory
Yeah,
and like how she was actually good, but then became evil. Um, but I know a lot of people are shitting on it because like apparently like the CGI and like green screen looks really bad. But I
I
like
didn't
didn't
think it looked
notice
that
that
bad, honestly.
too much. I saw a lot of people on Twitter.
I did see that too, but honestly, I didn't think it looked like it didn't stick out to me that it was bad. You know what I mean?
Mm. No, I agree with you. But Yeah, so the third trailer we got was something that I had no hype for, but the trailer actually got me hyped, which is Twisters.
Yeah.
Um, and it's a sequel to Twister, which I have to watch soon. But I think it has a really interesting cast. Glenn Powell, Anthony Ramos, David Cornsweet's actually in it,
Yeah. I don't think he has a big role, but it does look like he's in it.
and I think I forgot the girl's name. Is it Daisy Edgar Jones?
Yeah, she was in the hell was she just in?
She's from Normal People, that show. That's
She's
apparently
in that movie
huge.
with Sebastian Stan, right? Like where
Oh
he's a
yeah,
cannibal.
Fresh.
Fresh.
Also
That's the
the
only thing
the
I've seen
guy
her
the,
in.
the guy from Nope, Brandon Perea.
Yeah, I actually really like him, and I'm like,
He's in it.
I liked him a lot in Nope, and I was like waiting for like his next. This is like his next kind of project.
Yeah, it honestly it looks good.
Yeah,
I feel like the cast is gonna carry it. It's just like a very interesting cast of young
yeah,
talent.
it looks fun.
Yeah, and it looks really cool. Like
Like
in
it
terms of
looks
the
like
action.
kind of like not in the sense of Dune 2, but like kind of like a big blockbuster movie. Like not a superhero movie, but like that's gonna. I feel like this is gonna do well. Like people are gonna go to the theater to
Mhm.
see this.
It honestly gave me nostalgia for the ride at
Yeah,
Universal.
me too. Yeah, no,
Um,
but yeah,
but yeah, I think that comes out this July, so that'll be like
yeah,
a big summer blockbuster. It's the week before Deadpool 3, so well,
I know that. Oh, I don't know that.
um,
I mean, I
all
doubt
right,
this has a huge budget.
yeah, I don't know, but moving on. So we have the Michael Jackson biopic coming in April 2025, which we've talked about previously, but we got our first look at Jafar Jackson as Michael Jackson as they're filming. There's a couple different set photos, but he
Yeah,
looks
I
pretty
mean, it looks
spot
yeah, it
on.
looks the part. Yeah.
I'm really excited for the movie. I don't know if you looked at any of the other set photos, but there was like pictures of him recreating like the album covers and stuff.
Oh, word. That's
And like
fine.
in some pictures, like it's like you can't even tell the difference between
Yeah.
him
Well, I
and
mean, he's related to him.
yeah, I think he's his nephew. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like they're gonna go through his entire life. I wonder if they're gonna get into like the
No, they're not. It's produced by
allegations.
his estate, so that's not gonna.
I'm
They're not
pretty
getting
sure
into
like
it.
when they said they were making it, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go in the good and the bad." I don't know what that meant.
It's
I don't know
not.
if
I'm telling you, it's not. It's not gonna. The bad. Their bad is gonna be like not what you think it is.
yeah, and also like how would they even do that in like a movie like this? They
Yeah.
would cast kids that he would like be
I
like,
mean,
"Oh,
yeah. I
come
don't
to
know, dude.
my
That's why
Neverland."
it's
Like
like
it would be
why.
so weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I guess they'll just ignore it.
yeah. Yeah. Once
But
it said his family was like involved, like there's no way they're gonna punish him.
yeah, seems promising. I wonder how the singing is gonna be because I feel like his voice is very hard to mimic. I think I've
Yeah.
seen clips of his nephew singing, and it's like similar, but
Has his nephew acted before or anything?
not that I know of.
No.
But also, like, who do you cast as Michael Jackson?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you really can't cast anyone.
Yeah.
Like who would play him? Can you even think of one
No, I
person?
have no idea.
Tom Holland,
No.
The Rock.
No. Wait, would you say The Rock?
Yeah,
No.
Jared
Imagine.
Leto. Jared Leto, Mike Jack.
No. That one actually would make a little more. At least he could sing.
Yeah. All right. Let's see some other random news. Uh, so I don't know if you know Todd Solondz. He's like a very weird director. I've been watching some of his filmography recently. I really like him, but he makes very weird movies that are like super. They get into like difficult kind of topics.
Hmm.
Like
Have I seen any of his?
I don't think so. His most famous film is probably Happiness, which I'm gonna recommend one of these days for us to watch because it's so weird.
Yeah.
But his next film that he's making is gonna star Elizabeth Olsen and Charles Melton. It's called Love Child. And it says it follows a woman stuck in a loveless marriage, but when a handsome stranger appears, her 11-year-old son hatches a plan to get rid of his father. And I'm assuming like Charles Melton is the handsome stranger, Elizabeth Olsen
Yeah.
is the woman. That seems
Honestly,
like
I
an
I
awesome
thought
plot.
yeah, I thought this was gonna be played more for comedy when I saw the but like now that you're saying this director takes on more like difficult kind of
Yeah,
Like,
he literally the movie Happiness deals with like a dude who like molests his child. Like it's like really weird and like difficult
they're probably gonna
topics.
make like her husband like mad abusive and shit.
Yeah. But it's like dark comedy though. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, oh, okay.
It's like very dark comedy. Like it's supposed to be like awkward, uncomfortable
Yeah.
comedy. Like if you look on Letterboxd and look at his films, they'll say like comedic. But
Okay. I like that
yeah.
Charles Melton's getting work.
Yeah. And he's also we'll talk about something else he got cast in.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just say it now. He's going to be in
Beef season
Beef's
2.
season 2, which I didn't watch season 1, but it's like I'm going to watch it soon. So, but yeah, it's apparently Beef season 2 is going to follow two couples. One of them, Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway, which
Which, yeah, that's kind of
is,
crazy. Yeah.
well, they've starred in a rom-com together.
No, I know, but like, I feel like there's such big like names to get them
Yeah,
to a
yeah, yeah.
Netflix series. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, but bro, this happened like what? Beef like swept the Golden Globes a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago, and then actors were probably like, you know what, fuck it. I feel like TV is kind of coming back a little bit in popularity,
Well,
like
like the
with
streaming stuff, you can
Succession.
get like, yeah, like actually the guy from Succession is like one of the villains in the X-Men.
Yeah.
Uh, but I actually like his villain, so I'm curious.
hmm But yeah, so then the other couple is Charles Melton and Kaylee Spaney, who you might know from Priscilla.
Yeah,
So that's like really interesting casting combinations. I'm
yeah.
actually excited for that, and I definitely want to like check out Beef really soon. I'm so close to finishing Game of Thrones. I have like 2 episodes left,
Yeah, just finish that first.
and then I have to do House of the Dragon, and then I'll do Beef. But yeah, very interesting.
I'm
I'm
excited
excited
for
for
the
that.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, and yeah, we actually just got like a new 65-inch 4K TV.
Yeah.
So I'm hyped because I know Max streams in 4K, so I'm hyped to see like the dragon scenes on that.
Online.
Yeah, but all right, so we can move on. We mentioned quickly before the Fantastic Four finally got cast, and to no surprise, we got Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as the Invisible Woman, Ebon Moss Backrack, I think that's how you pronounce it, as the Thing, and Joseph Quinn playing the Human Torch. What were your initial thoughts on this cast?
I mean, I think the best one is probably Vanessa Kirby as Invisible Woman. But
I agree.
mean, Pascal, I guess it's hard to see, but he's a really talented actor, so I'm sure he'll be fine. You know, and
I think Ebon is like the perfect casting.
the only thing I've
for
really
that.
ever seen him in is the Punisher. He plays the Micro, but I haven't seen him in anything else. I don't think.
He just feels the most like, just looking at him and just like his vibe. He's also Jewish.
Yeah.
He feels like he could work really well as Ben Grimm.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that scare me the most are Joseph Quinn and Pedro. I'm really not sold on Pedro. I feel like it's very like just uninspired casting. They're like, who's popular? We'll just, it doesn't.
He's talented.
I'm not saying he's not talented, but he doesn't feel like Mr. Fantastic to me. I'm willing to obviously give it a shot. I love The Last of Us. I love The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I have a feeling he's not even going to be in that Mandalorian movie. He's probably only going to do voice work.
No, probably not. I mean, how would he be able to do this? And isn't he? He's in Gladiator too, right?
Yeah, but that's, I think, done filming already.
Oh.
But still.
What else? Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, like you said, Vanessa Kirby's great.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I
like
she was great
picture.
Yeah, it was cute. The picture, I liked it. I liked that it was it was art. It wasn't like they did like an original picture. It wasn't like some promotional,
Yeah. And it also it has like old school vibes, and Ben Grimm's magazine that he's reading, people were like looking it up, and that magazine came out in like 1963.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's going to take place in the 60s. That was rumored previously. Also, Herbie, the robot, is on the poster. I didn't know the backstory of Herbie, but
yeah, he's from the animated series.
Yeah, I found out that for whatever reason, like
they didn't want to show Fire on
wasn't
TV.
on the team.
They thought like kids were gonna see that and like light themselves on fire, which is kind of stupid.
I don't know if that's the reason.
No, I swear to God, dude. Like that's why they couldn't use the Human Torch because like
Says who? Who said that?
the whatever the I don't know the United States Broadcasting. Look up the history of why her because it was like they had 3 members and Herbie.
I guess. I don't know. But all right, yeah. I don't know anything about Herbie, but I feel like it's gonna be cool. Apparently they want to cast a comedian to do his voice.
Yeah,
So yeah,
but that
we'll
stuff's
see.
filming probably what pretty soon.
Yeah, it must film to come out next. Yeah, it comes out in July. It's got to start filming
Yeah.
soon.
And then they said the rumor right now is that Javier Bardem is going to play the villain.
Yeah, Galactus. Him as Galactus would be sick.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, he does like shit like this. He did Pirates. He did.
Mhm.
He did The Little Mermaid. That's like a pretty,
Yeah. Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah.
The next thing we have, Nicolas Cage is in talks to return for the live-action Spider-Man noir series for Amazon Prime. That's sick to me. I know he voices him in Across the Spider-Verse.
He actually like expressed interest in doing TV work. I remember like there was a quote saying like, "Oh yeah, I think I want to start doing TV work," and then like 2 weeks later, this came out.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we'll just start like brushing through these though, just because we're taking up a lot of time. So the next thing, Yorgos Lanthimos' next film is apparently going to be a remake of the South Korean cult classic Save the Green Planet, and it's going to be produced by Ari Aster. Apparently, Emma Stone is also like circling to star. So
Should be interesting.
That seems very exciting to me, and I'm gonna like look into the original. I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah, honestly, after Poor Things, anything he makes now, I'm gonna be very excited for.
Yeah. Let's see what other big thing do we have. Avengers 5 will no longer be titled the Kang Dynasty. So,
do you think they're just gonna do a random villain, or like they're gonna still do Kang and just?
I think I don't know, because if they're still gonna do Kang, why would they change the title? They're definitely. I feel like Kang's no longer the villain. They might do like a new villain that they just introduced, kind of similar to like how Age of Ultron. The villain just like appeared in that movie. He wasn't in anything else.
Do you think there's any villains they could take now and like elevate to an Avengers villain that they've introduced already?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the big ones recently. Most of them get killed. Gore got killed.
Yeah, he couldn't.
Who was the villain of Black Panther 2? Namor?
Yeah, I mean, they could do Namor, I guess, but that'd be Namor. They probably do Namor, and like they have to probably make someone else. I mean, they could do Namor, and then like Doom would kind of like pay Namor or something like that. Like do like the bigger.
Maybe Red Hulk, because actually maybe.
No, they like Thor.
I feel like he's not like an Avengers level villain, but
I
don't know. Like very interesting that they're changing the title.
Yeah.
Another quick casting thing. Tom Cruise has been cast in Alejandro González Iñárritu's next film. For those of you who don't know, he directed Birdman, which is one of my favorite movies. He also directed The Revenant, which I love. And he makes definitely more like artsy kind of films. So the fact that Tom Cruise is doing this is really exciting.
Yeah.
Because he's now more known for his action stuff, but he's worked with like great directors in the past.
Do you think this is his kind of like he wants to get an Oscar?
Maybe. He's
kind of high. Well, he also he's in this, and then I don't know if you saw he's being circled to join Quentin Tarantino's next film.
Yeah. So I think maybe he wants to, as like the Mission Impossible franchise ends, he's gonna like try his hand again in the art
Do you think
film.
I actually saw something that like do you think they're ever actually gonna make Missions 8 or part 2, 7 part 2?
I feel like if they didn't, it would be embarrassing for like Tom Cruise's legacy.
Because like he's not even with Paramount anymore. He's with Warner Brothers now. Like they signed like an entertainment agreement. Like that's why they want to do what is that movie? Edge of Tomorrow 2.
I
And
just
like
feel like he's the type of guy that like he has too much pride to like let it end like that.
yeah,
Like
it's true. He's
he's
too
gonna make the
involved in it
next one.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah,
But yeah.
that's exciting stuff. Something else quick. Uh, DC Studios is gonna make an untitled animated feature based on the Jurassic League, which is basically like one of those stupid comic series where they're
Yeah.
like, oh, what if Superman was actually a dinosaur and like they're all dinosaurs. I think that's a great
Yeah, I
idea
think
for
this
an
is
animated
awesome.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great for kids. And if it's
Yeah.
done in the style of like Spider-Verse, it could be really cool if they get like some good celebrity voice actors.
Yeah.
Or do you think like Corn Sweat will like voice Dino
No, I
Superman?
think they're gonna do all different. I kind of want them to do different people. I mean, they also
Yeah.
could do coins, but I don't know. But I like that this is like something perfect because like obviously this would never be made in live action. Like it would never translate right. But this is like something that could be like fun, but like you need a different medium to express it, like because it wouldn't work in live action. So animation is like perfect. And it's also the guy who wrote the Minions movie, which also made $1 billion, which is
Yeah.
this also
And I
helps.
feel like that kind of goes to show like this is probably going to be for kids.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
but
oh,
kids love
definitely.
superheroes and kids love dinosaurs. Like we
Yeah,
would have
I
ate
think I
the
texted you that like when this came out. I was like, this is gonna make so much money. It's like the two, like when we were kids, what were the two things we loved?
yeah, we
Superheroes
had,
and that,
yeah. So we would have ate this shit up.
yeah,
But yeah, I guess speaking of Corn Sweat, we finally got the reveal of Superman emblem, the
yeah.
S that they're going with. And also Superman Legacy's title has been changed to just Superman, which I think is better. I feel like Superman
Nah,
Legacy
I kind of like
was a
Superman
little
Legacy a little better.
I feel like it was a little tacky. I don't know. I definitely prefer Superman. And I really like the logo too. It's like
Yeah,
very
I
different.
enjoy it too. Yeah,
It's very different from things we've seen before.
the blue looks a
It's
little brighter,
yeah.
definitely. And it's
It's
you know what's funny is like it looks brighter, and that's like a dark photo. I think he said he took it on his iPhone too. It's like just a
Mhm.
regular, and it's already brighter than any of the like old Superman suits.
Yeah. It's inspired by the Kingdom Come logo. So it's like that shape, but it's
The
yellow and
classic
red.
colors, yeah.
Yeah, instead of the black. So yeah, this just got me pretty excited, honestly.
Yeah. And I
Seeing it.
like that it differentiates between like from the other Superman, but it still kind of feels similar.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we'll see when more. But now that they're filming, I'm sure there's going to be more and more stuff coming out, and then
Yeah.
eventually we'll get a look at the full suit.
When do you think we'll get a trailer
I'm like
by?
really hyped to see Corn Sweat, like what his body looks like in that suit.
Yeah.
Like how big did he get?
I mean,
just wanna,
have you seen Pitt? Like this, he looks pretty big.
yeah, but I want to just see him with the suit on.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna look awesome. But yeah, I'm getting excited for it. So, what were you saying? When do I think there'll be a trailer?
Yeah. I feel like Christmas.
I mean, if the movie comes out in July, the trailer for Deadpool. Wait, but yeah, the Deadpool comes out July of this year, right? Or is it June?
I think July.
Yeah, so we got that in February. So December might be pushing it a little for like next July, but
I don't know.
maybe I don't know.
We'll see.
Christmas maybe, but we'll see.
I'm actually really excited for this movie.
Yeah,
I think it's
so
gonna be
am I.
very good.
I hope so. It seems different from any like iteration we've gotten
Yeah.
before.
It's yeah. I don't know why people were complaining that like there's mad heroes already. Like I like that it's established like heroes exist already, and it's not like a like it feels more like a comic book that he's gonna be interacting with like I think honestly in this movie he probably interacts with more heroes than he's done in any of the other previous movies combined.
Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe Justice League, maybe. I don't know.
Not even because it's only the four members and then the fucking what's his name? Steppenwolf.
Yeah, I guess. But
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, I guess we should move on.
Yeah.
That wraps up for movie news. We actually had a lot.
Yeah, we
Obviously,
had a lot
'cause
of
we
movies.
hadn't
I'm sure
we
we
hadn't
missed like
spoken
some
like a
other
month.
smaller stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, we can get into our top 10 list for this episode, which I recommended last episode, and I wanted to do the top 10 movie villains This is more of like a personal favorite kind of list for me compared to like the best.
Yeah.
So in first place, I have Milo from Morbius.
I was wondering if he was going to make an
Um,
appearance on this list.
No, no, I'll start with 10. He actually might be the worst villain of all time, besides the villain from Madam Web,
Who is the villain from Madam Web?
Ezekiel Stain or something.
They gave him like the CWS
His more,
suit.
bro, I can't even talk about that fucking movie, bro. Oh, Ezekiel Sims, that's his name. But
In the suit, he deadass just wears like a suit.
bro, he just wears like a Spider-Man suit, but he doesn't shoot webs. He just like crawls around, and like this in the comics he doesn't even have a fucking suit. Why does he have a suit? But the actor was so bad. Like I don't know if he's bad in other shit, but I don't know why. But every single scene that he's in, they did voiceover for. So like him speaking doesn't line up with his mouth, and it's like so clearly like
They probably
audio
rewrote it mad times, and like they just like penciled in his like.
it's like embarrassing. Like that movie's actually embarrassing.
Yeah.
But all right, anyways, but that's off topic. Sorry. My top 10 favorite movie villains. Number 10 for me might be a controversial pick, but I'm choosing John Kramer / Jigsaw from the Saw franchise. I love Tobin Bell in the role, and I feel like he's such a like not necessarily morally gray, but he has good motivations to why he does what he does. And I think that at this point, like the character is so iconic that I agree. You see why he's like on a list like this,
Yeah. Even I think they announced Saw another one, right? He's going to return too.
Yeah, it's coming out this year.
Yeah.
So, all right, you want to go for
your
number 10?
So my number 10, I actually had. I mean, I don't know how. Like, I had the Alien from the Alien franchise. I know it's like not really a specific like cat. Like, I mean, they're a villain technically, but I just
The
feel like
Xenomorph?
the Xenomorph. Like, it's just such an iconic look, and like so unique. And at the time when it came out, I don't know.
No,
but I've always really enjoyed it, especially like the horror movie. Well, I mean, it is kind of horror, especially in the.
The first one's definitely horror.
Yeah. But they lean into like there's no like the villain's like a legit like animal, like a creature. So I enjoy when they do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so for me, my number 9, I have another horror. Chucky from Child's Play. Brad Dourif does a great job with the voice work for him. He's iconic. He's a I don't know. He's just Chucky. He's just a little doll that like says fuck and like kills people, and he's just a goat. He was one of my favorite horror characters growing up. So, but yeah, it's just like what can really be said about him? Like the proof is in the pudding with him. Just watch a clip of Chucky going nuts, and you'll see.
As I feel like as I've got older, I've grown to appreciate Chucky a lot more.
Yeah. I feel like I appreciate the humor a bit more too.
Yeah.
Of this character, like the adult jokes that he makes that are actually like funny.
Yeah, it's like stupid humor.
Yeah. All right, you could say your number 9.
Number 9, I actually had Loki from like the Marvel movies. I mean, I guess he's kind of like a villain hero now, but I like it. You like his villain character because you kind of like understand where he comes from. Like he's. He was like adopted.
He feels like an outcast.
Yeah, he's kind of shunned from like his.
Yeah, because honestly, he would be like a better king, especially like in the first Thor movie.
Yeah,
Thor is
like
just
he's
kind of
way
like
more fit,
fucking around. Like he's not serious about like ruling. He's like too cocky, and like just because Loki is not like the firstborn, he's not able to take the throne. Yeah, no, he's a good villain, and he's so good that he like reappeared in multiple movies. So
yeah.
That's a good one.
And he has like one of the better villain to hero like redemption arcs in a character.
Yeah, for sure. All right, yeah, my number 8. This is a very unconventional one, but I got Lotso from Toy Story 3.
Really?
He's an awesome villain.
Toy Story 3 and mad long.
when we saw that, and it seems like he's a good guy at first, but then like
Yeah.
it turns out he's actually evil and he wants to like destroy the toys. That like as a child that hit me so hard. I think that he's probably one of the better like animated villains ever, in my opinion.
I
And I
definitely
think
like I remember like because I remember like when you watch it as a kid, like you think he's just like a good, like you don't expect him to be.
yeah, he's a very strong character. Like
Yeah.
unironically, yeah, that's unconventional, but that's my number 8.
Yeah. Number 8, I actually had another horror one. Jason from the Friday the 13th movies. I mean, he's more of just like the image of him is more iconic. He just obviously doesn't really say any lines and stuff like that. But I actually like growing up. I really loved the Friday the 13th movies, like especially the look.
Yeah, for me he didn't make it because I don't know. I just feel like the look alone isn't enough. I don't really connect with his character all too much,
Mhm.
but he's definitely iconic for sure. Like you think of horror icons and he's up there.
Yeah.
But all right, number 7, another horror, Pinhead. I love Pinhead. I love his look.
Oh, I
I love the
forgot about
films
Pinhead.
that he's in. I just love like his vibe as a villain. He's just
Yeah.
like he only pulls up on you if you like fuck around and open the box. Like he's
Yeah.
not just killing people for no reason.
There's like a purpose.
He's more of like a complex villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really love his vibe overall.
Whatever happened? Like I know they had that remake in 2022, but like whatever happened? Did they ever say they were going to do another or like?
As far as I know, they haven't, and if they haven't by now, I doubt they're going
Yeah.
to.
I
Which
wonder
is
what
a shame.
happened. Didn't it?
I
I
really
actually
like that.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just not enough people watched it. So
Yeah. I don't know how it did like viewership wise.
I don't
You
know.
know.
I'm assuming not that great. If
Probably
they
not,
haven't
yeah.
said anything yet. So, all right, you want to give your 7?
Oh, yeah. 7. I have another horror. There's a lot of horror ones just because like I grew up watching a lot of horror, but Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street. Obviously, the look is really iconic, and again, as I got older too, Freddy's kind of like quirky. Not quirky was the word.
No, he's quirky.
Like
He's
campy
like,
kind of humor.
yeah,
to
he's
him.
campy. Yeah,
Like I've grown to appreciate a lot more as I'm older.
and he also just works well as like
Yeah, like the concept of Freddy is just like a
Yeah.
really cool,
it's very menacing, and it's
Yeah.
it's like genuinely scary to think.
Yeah, no, his
it
look
kills
is
you
generally
slowly.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you just see a picture of him, like it's it's generally like scary looking. If you don't even know like the story behind him either.
Yeah. For me, my number 6, I had the Green Goblin, played by Willem Dafoe from
Oh, that's another good one. I forgot.
Spider-Man, and in bits of Spider-Man 2 and like flashbacks, and Spider-Man 3 and flashbacks, as well as Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Willem's performance just like makes this villain so iconic, and he's just like insane. But he's also kind of has that goofy side to him. I recently rewatched the Raimi trilogy, and like you realize now how fucking stupid those movies are. But I love them. Don't get me wrong. I still think they're great. But like there's literally a scene where he's like the scene where Green Goblin pulls up to Peter Parker and he's like, I have Mary Jane in one hand and I have like this tram full of passengers in the other. You have to pick one. And then he's like, this is what's bad about being a hero. You never know when some maniac is gonna come up and give you a crazy choice like this. It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Like what? Like
No, if that came out now, obviously it would.
Yeah, but no, I love it. And I think like parts of his performance, especially in No Way Home, are like genuinely like what the fuck? Like this guy's insane. Like when
he enjoys it though. Like I feel like he likes the character. That's why he came back.
Yeah. Like I'm glad that he came back because that actually added something to the character. Like for me, it wasn't just like a nostalgia play.
No, I agree.
Although,
I think he like honestly, I think that's his best performance as like the character has the most depth in it. You don't really like. I don't know. I feel like they don't like not to sympathize him, but they don't really flesh him out a lot in the movie. He's just kind of like in the original one.
Just like he gets his goblin power like pretty early on.
But
So
why does he end up like hating Spike? Like, does he just hate him for no reason, or like there's a reason why? I haven't seen that one in man long.
well, the goblin is just doing evil shit and like Spider-Man stopping him. He's not like going after him at first. Eventually he ends
Yeah.
up going after him, but yeah. All right, can you give your 6?
Oh, sorry. My number 6, I actually had the character's name is him from Mother, which was played by Javier Bardem.
That's a great pick.
So he in this movie he's I mean he's I guess from some point of view like he's not the villain to some people, but he is, but
He is to
it's
our main character.
yeah.
So
I don't even like go into his performance because it's such like a deep
he just like
character.
gaslights her the whole
Yeah.
time, basically. But gaslighting might be the truest form of evil on Earth. So no, he does a
That's-
great job in that movie.
Yeah.
That's actually a great pick. And he's like you kind of understand, but like what he's trying to do, but also like it's definitely evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
What's the quote? There's a quote like the path to hell was paved with good intentions.
yeah.
Yeah.
That yeah.
You never heard that?
No, I've heard it,
No.
but how does that apply here?
Like his intentions, like with the kid, like in the movie, his
Oh,
intentions are good. He wants to show the people the kid, but the kid ends up dying.
yeah. Spoilers.
I
But
mean, yeah,
rip.
yeah. If you haven't
Um,
seen Mother from 2017,
Yeah. All right. So what are we in? Top 5.
yeah,
Number 5, we discussed him before. Freddy Krueger.
yeah.
Oh, I should have included Freddy Fazbear. Fuck.
Oh fuck!
Honestly, he's not even a good movie villain.
I know, but it's just like the like it's kind of like a legacy.
William
pick.
Afton.
Yeah, William Afton actually is like a.
He's
Actually,
an honorable mention. Yeah.
yeah, we forgot to mention that too. That's a quick little. FNAF 2 actually got a filming date. I think it's July 1st. We forgot to mention that.
Oh, I must have forgot. Yeah, put that on the doc or something.
So, yeah, but
Yes, more
anyway.
FNAF is coming.
Yeah,
Yeah. So Freddy Krueger, we talked about him briefly before, but he was the like slasher of my childhood that I always liked the most. The idea of being able to be killed while you're in your sleep is like very scary,
yeah.
and
You
I feel
no
like
control.
that scared me a lot as a kid. And like throughout my life, I've always like had trouble sleeping, like especially when I was
Yeah.
in college. And I feel like it might have been deep rooted fear of Freddy in the back of my mind that just
Yeah.
messed me up when I became an adult.
Possible.
But yeah, he's just his look is iconic. He's got his little hat and his striped sweater. He has a sick weapon.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just awesome. His movies are awesome too. So yeah, you could say your 5 now.
Number 5, I had Michael Myers from the Halloween. Probably like the most iconic horror villain. I'd say. Like I feel like that's the most.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
He's probably like the slasher.
Yeah, like the most recognizable horror person. Like, yeah, I don't know, but again, like a classic movie, such a classic character.
Yeah,
The design is just so simple, but like, it's
menacing.
not intended to be super scary, but like it's just something really scary about it. Like the mask itself isn't really like a scary mask. It's just more like I don't know.
Yeah, there's something like Uncanny Valley about
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
a little bit,
exactly.
Where it's like it looks human, but like there's like
Off
just
about it.
enough off about it that it like starts to look weird. So
Yeah.
all right, yeah, let's get to number 4. Getting to the heavy hitters now. This is one that's probably on most people's lists. The Joker from The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Just when you think of movie villains, like he is like up there as like one of the best, and I think most people can agree on that. Heath
yeah.
Ledger's performance is just so iconic, and just in that movie he's great, but also like the character of the Joker himself, just throughout like all media, is one of like the best villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like he ended up winning the Oscar for Best Picture, Excuse me, best actor.
Which at
But
the
it was
time, like superhero like movies weren't really looked at very. I mean, they kind of still are, but that was unheard of for someone from a superhero movie to be getting like an Oscar nomination.
yeah, and obviously it was like posthumous.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. He's just like he's another one that's kind of like just evil for no reason.
yeah.
Like he says in the movie, oh, like he wants to watch the world burn. He gets like memed kind
Well,
of.
it's like you could tell like he has some form of like PTSD. I think it's like said that Joker like served in the military at some point. I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah,
there's a scene of him like without makeup on. Um, I like how his character just lies all the time. And I also think that opening scene where he's introduced at the beginning is like one of the best like villain introductions
yeah,
in like film history.
yeah.
So that's all I gotta say.
What was that number?
That was 4.
Four. I have another actual kind of unconventional one. I actually have from Jaws, the shark from Jaws. This is kind of a villain that I feel like people don't really realize. Like, I feel like this, like, the fear of sharks is like a pretty common thing. If there's a lot of people that are terrified of sharks because of this movie. Like, even our dad mentioned, right? Didn't he say like he had a fear of going to the beach when he was younger from watching this movie?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it
Um,
is. Yeah, you're right though. His jaw. What's the name? Doesn't the shark have like a name?
they
I feel
might.
like, I feel like his name is like Butch or something.
It's something like Bruce.
Bruce.
Yeah,
Bruce is his
that's
impact
funny that
on the world is like unmatched.
yeah. That's
What
actually
was
funny. I didn't realize that his name is Bruce, and then Bruce from Finding Nemo, the shark.
Oh yeah, that
I
must
didn't
be
even realize
why.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, but
but yeah,
um,
no, it's
yeah, I honestly, I could have seen that one making my list, but I haven't seen Jaws like in a while.
yeah.
So
Even I don't know why I went like even when I was in Japan, there was like stuff about Jaws, like they had Jaws products there. It just kind of like shows the impact of you know.
yeah, and especially for the time too. I think like the effects of the shark in that movie are really good too, and they still hold up pretty well.
Yeah, well,
Which is
yeah,
important. So all right, now we're getting in the top 3.
yeah,
Now we're gonna get some real heavy hitters here. You knew that this one was coming. Thanos, number 3.
yeah,
Specifically from Avengers Infinity War.
yeah,
To me, he is the best superhero movie villain out of all of them.
yeah.
I prefer him to
I even think his motivations in the movie are better than his motivations like in the comic for like getting the gauntlet.
yeah, and I love like the way he's introduced is so cool because like
Yeah,
basically he pulls up and we've seen him a couple times in the MCU before, but he pulls up, the Hulk challenges him, he like beats the fuck out of the Hulk and just
yeah.
murders Loki to start the movie.
And like
You're like,
also from our point of view, for the last 10 years we've been watching like the Hulk is like the tank. Like no, I don't think we've ever seen him lose a fight in the MCU.
not at that point, I don't think. Well,
Yeah.
maybe Ragnarok, I
Well,
guess he
Thor, yeah,
lost.
but that's like,
Yeah.
but so it's very, and then
Yeah, he's like
he also just kills Loki too
yeah.
in the same scene.
Like such a powerful way to introduce him where you're like, holy shit, this guy
Yeah.
like means business, you know. Also it helps that like Infinity War is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thanos, he already is like going down in legend status for villains.
Yeah, he's kind of like our generation's Darth Vader, I feel like.
Yeah. I didn't really love like his Endgame counterpart as much just because he didn't have the history with the characters.
Yeah. So it
But
felt kind of, yeah.
yeah, and he's like one of the most like fleshed out villains in a superhero movie too. Like that, like Infinity War is basically about him. It
Yeah,
follows
he's
like
basically the main
story.
character of the story,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's 3rd place.
All right, for number 2, I have Hannibal Lecter from the Silence of the Lambs franchise.
It's a great pick.
Yeah. I know there's been a couple iterations. Obviously, the most iconic, what's his name? Who plays him?
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins. Although the Mads Mikkelsen performance is actually very good too.
I've heard it's good. I
Yeah.
haven't seen the show, but
But it's just a really like a cool character, and he's not. I mean, obviously he's a villain, but like they kind of need him in the movie. He's used like to help solve like murders and stuff like that. But
yeah, no, he's a great villain, and that performance is iconic
yeah,
for sure. Like Anthony Hopkins is one of the greatest actors of all time.
yeah,
And like if you think of horror movie, he's not like a slasher, obviously, but if you think of like horror movie villains, like which one has been played by like a more notable actor? You can't really think of one,
no, I agree.
as far as I can tell.
Hmm.
So
That's the name of the actor, right? Oh, Mads Mikkelsen. I'm sorry. No.
yeah, no, I think you said that.
No.
But all right, number 2. This one might trigger some people, might turn some heads, but I got Lord Voldemort as number 2.
I feel like that's not that crazy.
I don't know. I think his build up over the course of 8 movies up until like the finale, and his just rivalry with Harry. Bro, he literally is such a menace. Like he tried to murder a baby. Like he tries to kill Harry as a baby.
Yeah.
He used the killing curse on him.
I mean,
think
I'm
like
not I'm not a big Harry Potter guy, but eventually I'm gonna watch all the movies.
like Harry Potter is actually like so underrated as a friend. Not that it's underrated, obviously, like it's huge, but I feel like people don't like respect it for how
It's more
awesome it
elevated than
actually
people
is.
think.
Just like the story
Yeah.
of like
Well, now they're doing
Voldemort and Harry's rivalry. Like you know how like Horcruxes work or no?
Yeah, kind of.
So it's basically like Voldemort puts a piece of his soul into like
Harry.
into different objects to survive. He doesn't realize that when he tries to kill Harry as a kid, he put a piece of his soul into him. So then Harry's like willing to sacrifice himself at the end,
Yeah.
not knowing this, but he ends up like surviving because Voldemort kills. He fulfills his own prophecy, kind of.
Yeah.
And like he kills the piece of his soul, the only piece that was left. It's just
By
like
killing
such a
him,
yeah. It's like such a insane, like smartly written story. Too bad that like J.K. Rowling like hates transgender people or something.
Yeah.
So otherwise she would.
I saw like she, like something like random happened. Like she did like she said something like unprovoked out of nowhere.
Dude, she's just an idiot. Like she'll just go on Twitter and just be like, "Trans women aren't women," just like for no reason.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Like why?
Like
even,
who cares? Yeah, why do you care so much?
Why do you
with
engage
people?
with like
Yeah, but I don't know.
like she's not even like she's literally like a billionaire. Like why are you fucking tweeting? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm
But
interested
also-
to see how the TV show is going to handle like the characters and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love his like snake like vibe. His appearance is like super pale, and I like his pointy fingernails and shit. And, like
I heard he looks like more like creature like in the book.
I think in the books he's a little bit more like deformed. They wanted to give him a sleek look in the movies. But yeah, I think his character looks great. I think his character is very fleshed out because literally from like the first to the 8th movie, like there's hints of him throughout. He doesn't fully appear, I think, until like the 6th, the end of the 6th, maybe.
Yeah. Is there a reason why he looks like that?
I think I'm trying to think. There is a reason why he's like deformed. I think it's just because like the amount of times that like he should have died, and like he's basically like half a human. He got to get like brought back to life with Harry's blood and shit. It's like he's like super fucked up, basically. But, yeah. All right, you can say number 2.
I'd said number 2. That was Hannibal Lecter.
So you didn't say 3 then?
I didn't wait 1, 2, 3.
Because I'm supposed to be going before you.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, no. Number 2, I have Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh.
Obviously, Matt pretty much summed it up. I don't know, like when I write the list, like for some reason the first one is always like big, so it makes it look like it's the title. So but Yeah, obviously you summed it up. He's just such like a chaotic character.
Yeah.
And I like that you don't know everything about, like, it's kind of left up to, like, you don't know how he got to it. Like, there's little fragments you find out about, but you don't really know, like, the backstory of the character.
Yeah, and he's like unreliable when he
Yeah.
talks about like his backstory. He says conflicting things to different people, so like you really don't know what's the truth.
I feel like that kind of adds to the character more.
Yeah. But all right, number one, I think to no surprise, Darth Vader,
Yeah.
specifically from the Empire Strikes Back. I don't know what else you can really say about him. He's the villain, the movie villain, at least. Yeah, the story of him being the father of the protagonist of the film just leads to like very interesting conflict between them.
Yeah. I
So
feel
many
like,
so many villains were like inspired by him, and I feel like the best villains nowadays are like, oh, it's like
modeled after,
the new Darth Vader or like the next Darth Vader, you know. So yeah, I
like
can't really say much
I
about
just said, we
him.
just said it before. Thanos was,
Yeah,
you know,
like what can I say about Darth Vader that like hasn't been said
Yeah.
before? I don't know. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty boring number one, but how can you not? Anything you got to add to him?
No, I mean, he's my number one as well. So
Yeah, all right. I
I
feel like
wonder what they're gonna do eventually, like in the future, like when James Earl Jones eventually does pass away, like what they're gonna do with the character.
I mean, they don't use him that much. What was
As
he?
the voice, yeah, I feel like he's the voice in like all the shit that he's in.
Yeah, but what was he in most recently? Oh, he was in Obi-Wan, the show.
And he voiced. Oh no, let me look it
Well,
up.
Hayden
Actually.
Christensen, I think, voiced him in that. But either way, yeah, you're probably right. But yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like what else are they gonna use Darth Vader in if they do like Obi-Wan season 2 or some shit?
I mean, they should do. It would be cool if they did a series, but they never
Like
will.
a Vader series.
Yeah. Oh
Well, they
no,
have
yeah.
that.
James Earl Jones was the voice in it.
Oh, they'll probably just use AI to do it.
You're probably right. Honestly, which is really sad, but
Yeah. Anyways. All right. Yeah. I actually enjoyed doing that list, putting that together.
yeah.
But yeah, I think we could move on now to our last movie of the day. Finally. And that is Army of Darkness, directed by Sam Raimi, which you recommended on our last episode. So maybe you could give us a little rundown of that one.
So Army of Darkness basically takes place right at the end of Evil Dead 2, and there's a book called the Necronomicon, right? Necronomicon.
Yeah.
And I forgot exactly what he does that he gets sucked into it.
I think a portal just like opens up at the end of Evil Dead 2, and he just like flies through it.
He gets sent back to basically some like medieval time kind of
like knights and like King Arthur kind of stuff.
But like it's kind of funny because he's like a person from, when did that come out? The 90s? Evil Dead Rise? 80s?
No, Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness, I'm sorry.
I feel like late 80s. Oh no, 1992.
Yeah, so he has kind of that like the way that he talks, like that kind of like it adds to the camp more. I feel like because he's interacting with people that like speak from the 1600s. But that's for better or worse. Like I mean, in the movie.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's like a little bit too goofy compared to Evil Dead 1 and 2. I still enjoy it for what it is, but I feel like you kind of just lose the horror. They went too far into the comedic end, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Like there are some aspects of like the kind of like horror, kind of body horror type of stuff, but like it's not really a plot point. It's more just like aspects of the movie.
Yeah, there was like certain points where I was just like, all right, like this isn't even funny. Like why?
Like the shit with the evil twin.
Like the mini Bruce Campbell's running around. I was like,
I thought that was kind of fun. Like I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny.
I don't know. I
Like
mean, me
stupid humor.
personally, yeah, I just didn't really enjoy that part. To me, it didn't make
Yeah,
sense. I was like, what
it's
the
fair,
fuck?
fair. You know, yeah.
Not that these movies have to make sense, but one thing I'll say though is like I respect how ambitious like the idea is for a
Yeah.
sequel. They took this story that's very like self-contained, just people in a cabin in the woods, and they're like, it'd be crazy for the sequel. Let's put them into like medieval times.
That
It's
actually
so
is nuts.
it is like so insane
Yeah.
considering the movies that came before it. But I think in many ways it does work. It's just like if they went a little more into the horror. Like think about how much like zombies and
No,
blood are
yeah,
in
it
the first
definitely
two.
it definitely could to work as a film that like went the same route as the previous films and like he had to fight all because they could make it way more scale like the oldest like skeletons and shit.
Yeah, I mean towards the beginning I kind of like checked out like and then no, I like the beginning. Then the middle, like as it moves into the middle of the movie, I kind of like checked out a little bit.
Yeah,
Once like the skeletons start pulling up, then I was kind of like back in. I like how they look,
yeah,
like the stop motion of
the
them.
puppeteering of them and stuff.
They say like I like how their dialogue is like stupid and funny. I don't know if you were picking up what they were saying. Like one scene they're trying to like smash through the door and like you hear one of them he's like put your backbone into it.
Oh
It's like
yeah,
so
yeah, like
so
stupid shit.
stupid.
Yeah. Well, that's his
Yeah.
MO.
No, I like it. It's funny. And then there
Yeah.
was one where it's just like the skeleton comes up to Bruce Campbell and he's like, I've got a bone to pick with you.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
that.
just so stupid.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that though. I really
Yeah.
like the skeletons. Um yeah, and also like the practical effect creatures.
Look
They
great.
honestly
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think they looked great,
Really?
but
I thought they
they
looked.
had like a charm to them. Especially like the flying ones. I think it looked like the effects were pretty bad. But it just like has a charm to it
Yeah,
from when it
maybe I
came
guess
out.
that's why I like it. It's kind of rose tinted glasses. I
Yeah,
like that kind of.
yeah. Um,
Did you have a favorite scene?
yeah, honestly, my favorite scene is when he gets sent down to that pit and
Yeah,
like
like
they
jumps up
throw,
against the, yeah,
they throw the chainsaw. Just that whole sequence of him being down there and
yeah.
like when like dude before him gets sent down there and it shoots out like an insane
Like it doesn't
geyser
even
of
show you
blood.
what's down there. I
Yeah,
like how like that happens. So like you're thinking it's like some fucking creature or something, but it's literally just like an old lady that's a zombie.
yeah, yeah. And honest, like again, the camera work fantastic. Just
Yeah,
classic
yeah,
Raimi stuff, like the quick zooms and like zooming into
yeah,
people's eyes and like the switching of the Dutch angles and shit. It's just like classic Sam Raimi stuff,
yeah.
and it's
And then I
really
like
like
when
it's very chaotic and it's very like non-bland. It's like super unique and creative.
yeah, yeah. But I like also when he comes. That's my favorite scene as well. But when he comes out of there and then like this is something stupid. Like he points to the guy's shoes, like to tie shoes, but like why the fuck would he tie his shoes? Like to wear like
Yeah,
boots and stuff like. So the guy looks down and he just like punches him in the face. Like so it's just so
yeah,
stupid, but like if funny.
yeah. Bruce Campbell's like hamming it up. He's having a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
time. I
He's
feel
literally
like though
just
that this film might have been like kind of reactionary to the fact that like Ash was recognized and loved as such an icon after Evil Dead 2 that they were like, let's like make his character awesome and like let's like make him do all this
yeah,
shit and like I don't know.
yeah,
That's just the kind of vibe that I got from it. It became
hmm
very much more about like his kind of quirky lines and things like that because I feel like it's
yeah.
not that big in Evil Dead 1 and 2.
No, not at all. Like
So
he talks to more. Like he probably has more lines of dialogue in this than the other two combined.
yeah. And he's good though. His performance is also very physical. He gets like thrown around a lot. He's
Yeah.
got his face in mud and shit.
Like
And,
the
like
fight scenes are like very like in your face. Like I feel like the camera work is like not necessarily bad, but like they're very close when the fight scenes happen.
yeah. I like also this is random, but whenever there was like a bunch of times where someone get punched and they just like do a flip for no reason.
Yeah, yeah.
That
They
stuff was
fly
really
back.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um I
it's kind
didn't
of crazy
really
that
what did you think of like the girl, the love interest?
that's very forgettable. Not like
Yeah, I feel like she doesn't really add anything
nothing
to the
actually
movie.
happens. Like there's nothing happens that like for them to have a romance. And he literally just like thinks she's hot and just like Well,
Yeah, the scene where they like kiss, she just like slaps him, and then he's
Yeah.
just like, "Give me some sugar," and like kisses her. I like how the villain is like the evil version of him, but just gets
Yeah.
like super deformed. That part I really liked, and I like the look of the villain too.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
There's
like at
also
the
that,
end he had all like the armor and stuff.
yeah, the scene that's like a parallel of that one from before, where he says like, "Give me some sugar," and like the weird
Yeah.
voice to the girl. Um, yeah, it's funny. It's like
Yeah.
it is funny,
It is
but
funny, yeah.
I enjoy that part of it. But like for this franchise, I just want a little more of the horror.
Yeah.
I think Evil Dead 2013 did like the horror very well, but it wasn't funny enough.
I think
And
that
Evil Dead Rise, I think, was a good mix.
yeah, because they kind of characterize the Necronomicon. This is that woman because they never really have like a specific character. You know what I mean? A character throughout the series. Like I feel like it's just always like random ass people that gets possessed. But this is
Yeah.
the first time like it's a character.
Yeah.
So it kind of like materializes the Necronomicon more. But like she's camp. Like the lines are campy. Like
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why but that also does the horror very well as well, which is why I prefer that.
agree.
I think out of the whole franchise, this is probably my least favorite, if not 2013. They're very close. But I still like enjoy it for what it is. If I say like, all right, I'm watching a comedy right now, it's funny. I like the stupid humor. I like the crazy, chaotic nature of the movie, how the camera moves. The stupid stuff that Ash says. But I don't know. It just felt like there could have been more of that horror. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Something I was wondering though was like, why do they never follow up with the storyline? I wonder if this movie. Do you think it was critically like panned at the time?
I feel like it definitely wasn't like.
Because why wouldn't they like bring Bruce Campbell back? I feel like. Excuse me. I feel like horror movies, especially like at this time, just they did like 10 movies. You know, like why did they stop at 3?
I don't know.
Maybe Sam Raimi like didn't want to do it, so they were like, "All right, we're not going to do this."
Maybe that's when he like no, because Spider-Man came out when 2001.
Yeah, and this was 92.
Yeah, no.
So,
but yeah. What did you end up rating it?
I gave it a 3.5 star, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, me as well.
Like it's still a good movie. Yeah, it's very funny. Bruce Campbell's great. I love Sam Raimi's direction. Again, like chaotic is the word that comes to mind. I really enjoyed those aspects of it, but that's not enough alone for me to like love it
I agree.
as much as I love the other ones. So yeah, and obviously like Ash is my favorite character.
Yeah, no, I mean he's really like only the only really like kind of character per se. I feel like the other people are just so forgot. I mean the girl, but there's not really much.
Yeah, like
the evil him maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty cut and dry with that.
Yeah.
So what would you give it then?
3.5 as well.
All right. I'm glad you recommended it. I did want to like recheck it out at some point.
Yeah.
And we also like got to watch the 4K, and it looked like really good.
Yeah, it did look really well.
So, yeah, I'm glad we got this TV because now we can actually like watch shit in 4K. Like I'm gonna try to go out of my way to get like the 4K discs to get the best viewing experience. But
yeah, it did look really good. It honestly looked like it came out in like the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, I guess we actually do have some questions. Not many, but we'll do the Q&A and then I'll recommend my film. You can recommend your list and we'll wrap things up for episode 43. All right, so we have a question from at Emily Wozneski on Instagram. Thanks, Emily, for this question. She asks, what do you think about Paul and Chani's relationship in Dune Part 2?
I think it starts off like a real relationship and then like he just becomes so ingrained in like the prophecy stuff, you know.
Yeah, I like buy their relationship a lot at the beginning, but I also understand like why she eventually ends up leaving him
Oh
He's
yeah,
also
no,
he's like a dick to her in that specific
yeah,
scene at the end, but also like he just goes too overboard with this shit where
yeah,
he's like he's not like a person to her anymore. She just sees him as like this insane, like
like cult
self-claiming.
leader almost.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is like cultish in a way.
it is. No, 100%.
He also like I don't know if he betrays her trust, but she tells him like not to use the missiles, and he just like doesn't listen and uses them anyway.
Yeah,
Um, but will their relationship be rekindled? I feel like probably not. I'm
no,
not sure how it goes in the books.
yeah, I have no idea what happens. I mean, he probably ends up staying with.
Princess.
Yeah,
But yeah, I like how their relationship was complicated and it wasn't just like, oh, she's the
his
hopeless
love interest. Yeah,
love interest that has to be saved. Like she feels very like strong
conflicted. Yeah, and she
and
sees exactly what he's doing. Like
yeah,
she's the only one that like I think what's the line? She says, "This isn't a prophecy; it's a slaughter." Well, this is how they enslave us.
yeah. Because her argument is basically like,
He's using our people to fight his battle, basically.
yeah, and also like the idea of a prophet coming is like what keeps those people in check because they
Yeah,
just like sit there and wait and they like don't ever do anything because they're like, oh, our prophet's coming.
yeah.
So that's why she thinks it's like nonsense. But at first the relationship works because he doesn't buy into that either
No.
until after the
So his mom and Javier Bardem's character
yeah,
start like
the
funneling his
worm.
ego.
Once he has the worm blood,
Yeah,
which he only has because the mother went
forced
there
him to. Yeah.
and was like, oh, if someone comes in and asks for the shit, like make sure that they drink it.
Why did he? Why did like I forgot. Why does he actually like want to drink it? Because aren't the males not supposed to survive drinking it?
Yeah, I think because he's getting like these visions and
Oh, it's gonna
he
help. Like, oh, they tell him to drink it in the visions, right?
I forget why, but I know like once he drinks it, it makes his mind clear. I forgot how he
Yeah.
survives though.
Doesn't
How does he?
Zendaya drink it?
Oh wait, no, it's the tears of her. Her tears heal him. The tears of something. It was like something river.
No.
Remember? It's like part of the prophecy that the like her tear will make him come back to life.
Oh,
So she mixes her tear with like that blue shit and then puts some on his mouth.
yeah.
But I forgot about that part of the movie, how he like dies and comes back to life. Very
Mhm.
Jesus like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good question. We'll see where their relationship goes.
I think it's done.
Yeah. And then we have one more question from at sophia.k.ua. Thanks for coming back and asking us a question. She has a great question for us, actually. If you guys can cast yourself for any role in upcoming 2024 releases, what role would it be and why? All right, let me look at the list really
Yeah,
quick.
I gotta look, dude. This is a tough one.
My first thought is Kong.
Yeah, I was
Mia's.
thinking like no, I was thinking more like Kung Fu Panda, but I gotta look.
Me as Kong.
I pretty guess.
Oh, you know what
Come
I
on,
would do
like
actually? Joker. Me as Joker.
I feel like that's such like a safe pick.
It's safe, but I get to act alongside Lady Gaga, and I get to wear like clown makeup and be the Joker.
Yeah.
That would be fire.
I'm picking Gru from Despicable Me 4.
I would also like to be the Terrifier from Terrifier 3, or like a horror villain would be cool.
That would be cool, actually.
I feel like it would be fun to do that.
Damn, there's not shit coming out this year.
Yo, I would cast you as Craven.
And Sony's next well, actually, isn't it supposed to be done now? Like, isn't this the final? Like, after Madam Web does bad, like they're gonna end it.
I doubt it. They already have Venom 3 coming out this year.
Yeah, but that's the last one, and then like I doubt it's gonna make money. Craven.
Yeah. Oh wait, I thought of another one. The Crow.
Oh,
I forgot.
word,
We
that's
didn't
actually
talk about those
perfect.
pictures, bro. They
Yeah,
look like shit.
I
Bill
don't know.
Skarsgård looks terrible. I don't know if you've seen the first Crow, but yeah, it looks terrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if you've seen the first Crow, but Yeah, I'd cast myself. I would say
They're
The
making a.
Crow
I
or
didn't know
Joker.
they're making a Hellboy movie. I didn't know that this year.
Yeah, yeah.
It's supposed to be good, or
I don't know, but all right. Yeah, thanks for the question. That was a good
yeah.
one. All right. So before we wrap things up on this episode, I will recommend my film for the next episode, which actually stars Mads Mikkelsen, who we mentioned earlier. And I don't know why I thought of this movie, but I just want to rewatch it for some reason.
hmm
Um, and that movie is Another Round, directed by Thomas Vinterberg.
No,
And I don't
aren't
know
they
if
making like an American remake of that?
I think they are, yeah.
Which
Um,
anything that already like I don't know.
but I'll read you the blurb really quick because it's short. Four high school teachers launch a drinking experiment, upholding a constant low level of intoxication. So basically,
They just stay like a little bit
they
buzzed the whole
stay
day.
like buzzed all day. They like do an experiment. They're like, all right, what if we were just like buzzed at all times? Like, it's a great
What's the name of the
movie.
movie again?
Another Round.
Another Round.
I loved it when I watched it, but like for some reason, I just like thought of it the other day when I was at there was like a happy hour after work one day,
hmm
and like the movie just popped in my head for some reason. So I was like, I want to check it out again. So yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. It's also a foreign film. I
I've been
forget.
meaning to watch that actually.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. It's like
Yeah.
Danish or something, or Swedish, something like that. And the director is like pretty well known to make great movies. He
Yeah.
also made The Hunt, which stars Mads Mikkelsen as well. And I think his most famous movie might be The Celebration. But yeah, if you enjoy this, maybe we can watch some of his other movies. But yeah, so we'll do another round, and let me check what else is releasing in the next 2 weeks.
Got Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda is. Oh wait, when does The Fall Guy come out?
Isn't it May?
I thought it was March 1st for some reason.
Nah.
But that
I think
passed
it's
already.
May. Hold on.
Oh yeah, May 3rd. Okay. So yeah, Kung Fu Panda 4. Oh, Love Lives Bleeding also comes out.
Oh, I want to see that actually. I mean, I don't know if you want to see it, but
Yeah, I want to see it. So we'll just say Kung Fu Panda 4. We'll try to do Love Lives
Love Lies
Bleeding.
Um, and then
And another
another
round.
round.
So yeah, what's your top 10 then that you want to
And
do?
my top 10, I actually wanted to do. So it's gonna be top 10 fight movies, but that's more or less like scene movies, but like have like a lot of action. Like it doesn't have to be necessarily a movie about fighting, but like a movie with like a lot of fighting at like specifically hand to hand combat.
Okay. That's a good one. I'm gonna have a couple John Wicks on there
Yeah.
for sure.
I've seen obviously the John Wick and stuff, but I feel like I haven't seen a lot of international like Ip Man, right? That's a big
Oh,
one,
Ip
right?
Man's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. Is it
Um,
IP?
yeah, I think
Ip Man.
it might be IP Man, but
IP Man?
I say Ip
Okay.
just because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not really too sure to be honest with you. But all right, yeah, that'll be fun to do
Yeah.
that. And yeah, we should be back on track with like we'll record in 2 weeks and
Yeah,
have
what?
this
It'll be
out to you guys. It'll be like March 17th or some shit.
yeah, because I work this weekend coming up, and then the next weekend I'm off. Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll about wrap up this week's episode. It's probably been a long one. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I think it's been like over 2 hours.
Yeah. We had a lot of news.
Yeah, but thanks everyone for listening. If you're not already, please follow us on our social medias.
Yeah.
Ask us some questions when we post the Instagram polls. Check us out on Letterboxd. You could see what we review our films that we don't talk about on here. So yeah, and besides that, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending when you're listening to this. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Peace.